Hey, hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi. I took a nap earlier after finished work. Teehee. Probably should have ate food too, but oh well, too late. Anything food's for later. I'm gonna enjoy Dawnforger finally. Holy cow! I should have started this so long ago, but you know, it's okay, it's fine. No fear, no pain. For now. So let's see what this event's gonna be like. With the stars shining on our blades, and with our faith engraved in our hearts, we carve the dawn at the end of the long night. Hello. Yeah, totally plenty of time. This week, my goal is to finish part 1. I think that's a doable goal, and then next week, part 2. So for now, cooperative paradox. Where does the road paved with good intentions lead? I shall find out now. Maybe. Or soon enough. I'm glad I at least updated the game earlier. A warm wind blows across the doll community's experimental fields. As planned, tomatoes and purple sweet potatoes have taken root in the carefully cultivated soil and are growing with vigor. Ooh! Okay, I'm happy that they're growing purple sweet potatoes. That's my favorite. I love getting those. I can't help but feel a little sentimental as I'm met with a sight as I step out from the empty warehouse. Despite the substandard fertilizer available to us with our limited supplies, the dolls have made incredible agriculture progress off the back of their patience and rigor. I like how it rhymed. Hurried sounds of footsteps breaks up our conversation before I can finish my question. Litara runs towards us with considerable distress on her face. Litara begins writing a blinding speed before she even steadies herself. Wait, why did the run dry? Oh no! Oops. Hello. The brief moments of enjoying the harvest cheer and comfort are short-lived as we get swept up by troubles again. Litara greets me again in text form despite having seen me just moments ago. I just got here, so of course I'm gonna stay around. Why is she saying this all of a sudden? I'm a little confused, but I figure that it mustn't be anything serious with a firm yet amicable expression on Litara's face. She still notices a sliver of confusion on my face, though, and she becomes a little nervous as she scrambles to write something down. I'm not leaving, I just got here. Exactly, why would I? Also, I want to eat the purple sweet potatoes. Those are my favorite. The tomatoes are fine too, but the sweet potatoes, In fact, I would actually like that for dinner. Good luck, Litara. Litara turns to smile and wave at us as she goes. Lord finally faces me once Litara has turned around for good. The sound of an incoming call rings out in a timely manner. I take a look at my terminal, find that the caller is Ulmitsa. She must have a response to me regarding what we discussed previously. I gesture with my terminal at Ulrid. Ooh, buyer. She nods, falling silent to indicate that I should take the call. Hey girl. I still want to eat the mystery meat. Her energetic voice immediately comes through the terminal. She's as direct as always, as if any pleasantries would be disrespectful. Ooh yes, more collapse pieces please. Aw, Will. Ooh, treasure sounds good. The call continues to buzz with static as she sends over coordinates and files.
これってイエローエリアの貿易都市なの？
ああ、よくある限界集落だったが、
It sounds pretty good.
伸びてきてね。闇ブローカーの中ではそこそこ評判いいらしい。
Oh gosh, a familiar sounding name.
急に伸びたね。
そこら辺の行商人の集まりとはわけが違う。グリーンエリアやホワイトエリアとも取引していて、イエローエリアで随分威勢よくしてるよ。
Good for them.
まあ、土地に恵まれなくてね。日当たりが悪いから農業は廃れているんだ。だからあそこならいくらでも買い手がつく。
Ooh, they're in dire need of fresh veggies.
あんたの心配してることは全部解決するさ。
そう。それだけなら確かに魅力的な話ね。
Oh, this event takes place after VTuber so before Basties. No wonder.
なんたって今年のブリーフ懸賞金ランキング1位だからね。
I interrupt Polonitsa as she starts to poke fun at me.
皮肉はそれぐらいにして。それとも私を売るつもり？
まさかお得意様を助けてあげたいだけ。
Polonitsa, you'd never sell me out, right?
指名手配されてもうちを頼るような客だからね。こういう時の儲け話はお互い様だろ。
Polonitsa contacted me immediately after he became wanted and provided a variety of resources not easily accessible. He's one of the very few individuals deserving my trust right now. Any of my trust right now.
当然よ。今までひいきにしてやったんだから。それに仮にモコシに行くとしても何の準備もせず向かうつもりはないわ。
分かってるじゃないか。それじゃいい収穫があることを祈ってるよ。
With a simple farewell, Polonitsa prepares to cut the call. But she suddenly appears to think of something.
そういえばメイリンちゃんは？
メイリンはエルモ号にいる。今
You can't have Meiling.
中だと思うけど。何？
Or do something for
もしかしてまた
her.
何か売りつけるつもり？
まあそんなところかな。
My mailing.
それじゃあ私はこれで。
Leaving me with that, she ends the call.
何を企んでるのやら。
I notice Orid's gaze still on me, and my mind returns to agricultural matters. I extend her an invitation.
一緒に行く？うまくいけば物資の問題は一気に解決するわ。もともとあなたたちが育てた作物だから。
Ooh, an adventure with
まず
Orid.
はそうするべきだと思う。
ありがたい話だが、本当に私で。
Oh. The power plant blares with an alarm before Orid can finish. The alarm shrieks for the briefest moment before abruptly ceasing as if it had broken down.
まさか警報器まで故障したんじゃ。
Oop.
指揮官、スアミだ。
Oh, Suomi! Suomi runs at us while waving her arms, trying to say something. With the volume she can manage, though, I struggle to make out what she's saying. Ah, yes, more raceway and resupply. She deserves at least 3 bottles. I only manage to hear her clearly when she gets closer.
指揮官、お姉様、北側の2番出口に息袋がいっぱい。
自動防衛システムは？
Oh no, Elid.
中継機の老朽化でシステムがダウンしています。急いで修理していますが、指揮官、今は。
ええ、わかっ
Man,
た。
it would have still been so nice to see
全員
the
戦闘準備。
GFL to meet up at AX. Too many good things going on during that convention. Gosh darn it. Would have been so cute. Maybe next year. Heh.
なんとかなりました。
That is so
このタイミン
satisfying.
グでこんなトラブルがますます厳しくなるわね。
それで指揮官、さっきの話
Heck,
なんだが、
dressing up as one of the dolls also seems
本当
fun.
に私が同行していいのか？
Yes, I hope they bring
あ
back
な
the
たは
official
人形コミュ
booth.
ニティのリーダーだからね。あなたがいた方
Bring in
が
Mr. Pizza, also bring in some nice jackets. I want a jacket.
リーダーとしてあの街を一度見ておいた方がいいと思う。
Heck, maybe even Final Fantasy 14 will be back
お
at
姉
AX.
様、指揮官とどこかに行くのですか？
Ulrid contemplates while staring at Suomi, speaking after a considerable pause.
それなら スオミも連
And
れ
heck,
て行きたい。
next year's also gonna
万
be
が一何か起き
the
ても
English version of Fate Grand Order's 10th anniversary, so ooh, I'm excited for
サ
that.
ンプルも多く持って
I
いける
wonder
だろ
what
う
they'll
し
do. Receiving no answer from either of us, Suomi tilts her head to the side as her confusion deepens.
安全のことなら心配ないわ。グローザの正体もついてきてくれる。
そうか。でも大きい町なんだろう。気晴らしに連れて行ってやってほしいんだ。
I smile and decide not to answer the question.
そう。
I turn to the hapless Suomi.
ならスオミも一緒に来て。なんならもう何人か連れてきてもいいわ。
Uber turns to Suomi as well, which makes Suomi pinch the hems of her clothes nervously.
そのいいのですか？コミュニティの方は。
大丈夫。私たちがいない間のことはちゃんと手配しておくから。
でもこれってどこに行くの？
Adventure time.
戦場は片付いた。皆の者、よくやったな。
Ta-da! And now let us continue. Corroded invitation, a deeply impressed invitation whose heart has long since been rusted away by the sands of time.
はい。
Hi, Mealing.
今なんて言いました？第11。
The familiar yet strange name sparks something in Mei-ling. Her hand holding her terminal shakes somewhat.
なんだい、驚きすぎて言葉も出なくなった。
Mei-ling, are you okay?
いいえ、そうじゃなくてまさか第11局のエンジニアが。
第11
Oh, she's excited.
計局の第7支援班は今猛虎種に出張している。
Very nice.
意外だろ。確かリーダーのやつは特級エンジニアだったな。かつて新ソ連を支援したこともある。会ってみたくはないか。
That'd be nice of Mei-ling. A thousand emotions flood into Mei-ling's mind. Expectation, excitement, anxiety, and apprehension among them.
どうした？
いいえ、心の準備が必要というか、相手が会ってくれるかどうかもわかりませんし。
Why wouldn't they,
それ
Mei-ling?
なら心配しなくていい。向こうもあんたを探しているみたいだから。
私を。
Wait, why are they looking for my Mei-ling?
手土産に故郷の酒も準備しているらしい。
Wow.
そんなことがあっていい？
They're bringing her alcohol?
向こうは人手不足だからね。あんたが協力を申し出たら
Fine.
報酬も弾むだろう。
Bribing
第
Mei-ling?
11局は羽振りがいい。
Or now they know how to meet up with her.
さんからじゃなかったら何かの詐欺だと思っちゃいそうです。まさかこの瞬間のためにずっとわざといい人のふりを。
会うかどうかはあんたが決めるといいさ。
私が。
必要な情報は送
I
って。
trust Mei-ling will make the right
あんたが
decisions.
好きにしてくれ。それじゃ。
切れちゃった。
Only Mei-ling is left in the ops room to stew in her thoughts.
オルドニッツァさん。
Mei-ling hesitates for quite some time as she stares at the new names stored in her terminal. She doesn't work up the courage to make the call. Aww.
急にどうしたんですか？私ボタン押してませんよ。なんだ指揮官ですか。
Hi, Mei-ling.
どうしたの？誰かの通信を待ってた。
いえ。指揮官、何か用事ですか？先に言っておきますけど、私は忙しいので。
You can beat it.
それは分かっているわ。ウルリド・グローザ・キャロリック。そしてスーミと一緒にムコシュに行くことになったから。その間、
You're in charge, Mei-ling.
ことは頼んだわ。
ムコシュって。
She repeats the name as Polonitsa's words reverberate. I do wonder why at the very end it always just automatically ends. Gives you a little bit of time to read and then BAM! Burst fuse, shadows lurk beneath the placid waters, and a single spark can detonate the entire night sky. Firework?
ここは。
なんか
Ooh, this place looks fun. Game and catering.
以上に。
栄えすぎでしょ。
We finally arrive and Mokosh after crossing a vast desert. From afar, this place is nothing short of a lurking metallic beast. A dome forged from the metal covers the skies, and the radiation nearby is kept out by the natural barrier of an aged dam. Several colossal elevators handle the flow of traffic, like giant metallic tendrils, endlessly swallowing and spitting out the surging crowds. The space is clear as day despite being underground. Painfully bright floodlights are arranged in rows, extending endlessly into the depths of the man-made flood discharge tunnel. The humdrum of music from advertisements resonate as the sharp tones of synthesizers stab into eardrums like countless needles. Whenever do we get another Ord banner? Banners repeat pretty often, luckily. An exceptionally commercialized district is filled with the cries of countless vendors, all wearing the same numb tiredness on their face. Folks with different accents and skin colors mix together before the stalls. Some argue over tiny differences in pricing with reddened faces, while others count the precious few coins in their possession with mechanical movements. All in all, a stark contrast to the vast wilderness outside the city.
貿易都市と名乗るだけのことはあるわね。イエローエリアにいることを忘れてしまいそう。
So we cross the desert to get to a bustling place.
一緒にイエローエリアの中で10年も過ごしましたけど、こんな街は初めて。
It makes me want to go back to Vegas. I follow Meiling's gaze. Her attention isn't on the glaring electronic screens and towering economic districts, but fully focused on the greenery by the roadside. Hello, hello. It's certainly strange to see that in a yellow zone. But the thing I'm more interested in at the moment is...
どうしてメイリーまで来たの？急に休みたく
And
なっ
yes,
たのかしら
Vegas. I miss going there. I want more food. A stall by the roadside draws Filmi's attention, and she separates from the group with a jog.
指揮官、あっちを見てきますね。後でちゃんと戻ります。
こんなのもう休暇じゃない。どうせサンプル以外旅行グッズしか持ってきてないんでしょ。
Also, it's especially nice going to Vegas as someone who's from Hawaii, since some places or some hotels, if you stay there, they give you some free coupons. Like, okay, you have your Hawaii ID? Have some coupons. I'm like, ooh. My family loves doing that. She pats a backpack on her shoulders filled with all of her tools. She came here especially for an engineer who, she claims, has prepared a gift of their hometown's fine wine with her. Mailing, have you reached out to this person yet? Even without her mentioning it, I figured that she must be looking for information about her parents. Oh. This fellow townsman of Mailing's appears to be a senior engineer of the 11th Bureau. It might not be so bad for Mailing to meet him here.
どうせみんなで来るのですから、私を混ぜてもいいじゃないですか。
Her parents?
指揮官、メイリーさん、ここに有名バンドのコラボ T シャツがありますよ。しかも限定品。他では
Ooh,
全然
band t-shirt.
ないです。
Mailing follows slowly after hearing the call, and they wander off towards an oddity peddling outlet selling a smorgasbord of curiosities. Sumi's rock bands.
さすがにもう休暇ということでいいでしょう。
It's nice being able to get
最近
merch.
いろいろあったし。ただ、私たちは指名手配のみよ。くれぐれも注意するように。もちろんメイリーも。
I wish I could have bought a lot more merch last time. As in my H trip. Earlier this month, because wow. Mailing and Suomi dive into the store, leaving me behind to go over our current identities again with the dolls still around me.
今日の私たちはサルヌイ南部で農産物を取り扱うス酒よ。
King of Tomatoes.
今は西部の業務を開拓中で予算はたっぷりあるということになっていて、ああそうだ、一応同族経営でもあるわ。
Oh, we're
みんなそれぞれ
family.
私の妹と姉と
娘と
We're family. My sisters. Oh no. My sisters' wives. Sister wives, yes. Rosa watches as the gears in my head get stuck and kindly drops me a reminder. She looks at Mailing and Suomi with a smile as the duos busy themselves picking out wares.
もう子供じゃないけどね。
I'm glad your Yoga's merch finally arrived. It looks good. It looks very, very good. Her words remind me of when we first met Mailing years ago. Rose is in a mood to crack jokes for once, a rare sight considering our recent circumstances. Despite us having very few opportunities to be alone with each other, I can't help but tease her a little.
ただ設定としてはそれでいいかもしれない。
Wait, our child?
メイリーの保護者にしては若すぎない？
じゃあ他に何かいい設定でもあるの？
Mailing my child. Seeing as Groza's in a good mood with a smile on her face, I can't help but enter holiday mode myself. I continue on the topic.
そうね。例えば指揮官のパートナーとか。
My partner? Her expression changes the moment I ask that question.
それは
I remember, but I'm not sure whether I should answer at the sight of the expression on Groza's face. Ah, who's my partner?
そうだな。今回は人形コミュニティの取引先を探す
Oh,
ためでもある。
my main wife is Ulred.
私がパートナーとして
Nice.
指揮官と一緒に商談を。
Girls, are you jealous?
グローザ。
We're forcing her into the chair. Oh no. Ulred answers the question for me with good intentions, but her voice trails off as she perceives the invisible spark between Groza and me. Oop.
そういうことなのね、指揮官。
What do you mean I see how it is?
今までは私がその
She's been stuck in a chair a lot lately. She looks at me with a smile bearing a deep meaning. Groza doesn't typically take these things so seriously with her personality, though. She must be saying this just to ease the mood, yeah. Haha. But Ulred does not know that. Even if she looks at the same as she always does, I catch her placing one hand behind her back, running her fingers over something in her palm.
何やってんの？
The stress toys.
全部ただの方便でしょ。それにグローザ。
Like heck, event with Helen.
別のキャラもやってみ
Helen
たい
is
って
basically
言
your
ったじ
wife.
ゃない？
Frolik shields me behind herself as she speaks. Her bunny ears sway in the wind, and I wonder how I previously failed to realize how comforting the sight of her figure is from behind. And now I'm checking her out.
そうね。たまには指揮官のお姉ちゃんになってみるのも。
Ah, my big sister Groza, yes. I place a hand on Krolik's shoulder and gratefully give it a pat.
キャロリックも見ていかない？
Touch.
結構珍しいものがあるかもしれないわよ。
そんなこと言ってる場合じゃないでしょ。何のんきに遊ぼうとしてんのよ。
ほらキャロリック、あそこにいい感じのウサ耳が。
Ooh, different bunny
ど
ears.
こに？じゃなくて、そんなこと聞いてないって。遊びに来たんじゃないんだから。
Don't be shy.
まあでもせっかくだし、あの店だけ見に行ってくる。何かあったらすぐに呼んで。
I want to go shopping. Without another word, Krolik also plunges into the motley mass of goods on sale. I take a brief look around. The market is unprecedentedly large as far as the yellow zones go, but there are precious few stalls selling produce around here. The offerings on display from the few open vegetable and fruit stalls cannot be compared to the fine crops of the doll community.
これは儲かりそうな気配がするわね。
それじゃ未来の大商人さん、お姉ちゃんと一緒にここを見て回らない？そうだな。指揮官も少し羽を伸ばしてきた方がいい。
ウルリドには言わ
Does
れ
this
た
make
け
you
ど
go shopping too?
あの豚のおもちゃを何度も握りしめていたでしょ。ストレスを感じてるときはそういう癖があると。リッタラから
I wonder if GFL2 goes to AX next year, do you think they would sell Ulred's stress doll? Or stress toys? Since Vagrant Order was selling squishies of Saint Court, so Saint Court stress relief, which is so funny. I feel like it'd be good merch. She awkwardly touches the tip of her nose.
それは何というか。
Or heck, just make it online actually, it's fine too.
人間を前にすると緊張してしまうんだ。
Oh, probably not. You don't think they've made that as merch yet? Darn. Her gaze lands on the store that Suomi and Mailing entered. I sigh, then turn to Groza, who's by my side.
グローザ、気づい
It'll
た。
probably be the stuff already in their store. That's fine too. Just to the left of the store, I clearly see several people lurking nearby. They're holding makeshift firearms made of miscellaneous parts, the rusted shells glistening with mottled light.
本当は休暇を楽しみたかったけど、メイリンとスオミを危ない目に遭わせるわけにはいかない。
To be fair, Groza does give off tender auntie vibes. Just as much as wifey vibes. Ah, Ulrid fits the wife role better. That makes sense. Being dragged into such an incident, just as we arrive in Makosh, is hardly a good omen. However, before I can even think through the situation, Ulrid's hand is already on her sword's grip. No, don't use the collapsed pieces as stress toys.
私の知っている
We
人
need
間は
those.
ほとんどこうだった。
Actually, that could be a good offering too.
彼らの顔を見れ
Like,
ばわかる
Ura, doing your next banner. Hey, girl. We shuffle a few steps towards the direction and get a proper look at their faces. Sunken cheeks, swollen skin, and feeble bodies, but more striking still are their expressions, hollow and wavering gazes, as if they had totally lost the ability to focus. They're the very spitting image of madness and self-abandonment.
彼らだけじゃないどうやらこの町には相当数精神的な不安を抱えている人がいるようね
I look around and confirm Grose's statement. In the bustling vibrance of the crowd, many of the people here wear a similarly strange expression, including the vendors and idlers on the side of the street.
奴らが動くぞ
窃盗か強盗か
いつでも取り押さえられるように
Gunshots ring out inside the store. The individuals we noticed earlier quickly pick up their weapons and rush in. The surging sound of screaming immediately fills the air. Protect the mailing! Oh no, lost both Pity Rose on the new banners for this event. I hope if anything you lost early and then that way you could have summoned easier. Hahaha, cries. Filmy and Mailing are not among the masses we see fleeing from the site. Filmy should be able to handle these situations, but Mailing is flesh and blood.
指揮官
My daughter, Mailing!
ローザウルリドセンター準備
You still can't believe it only took you 30 total rows to get both new dolls. This event was on your side. Ethereal. Only lost early. One's too hard. See, and the others took 60 tickets to hit. No! I like the design. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Potato Daughter came home fast. The chaos doesn't continue for long. As one would expect, a squad of armed personnel named the Oathsworn quickly move out to settle the commotion, not unlike a well-secured green zone. Judging from their movements, they're clearly received rather comprehensive training. The woman named Thea looks at those put on the ground with some uncertainty. Those executing the robbery with guns in hand just a moment ago are now restrained by the Mokosh Oathsworn. George?
わめいたところで意味はない簡単に死ねると思うな死ぬのなら償ってから死ね
He looks so fancy. The sound of resistance gradually fades as the Oathsworn crack down. But the look in the belligerent's eyes becomes murderous. They stare at the man in stately garb with death-like obsession, as if he's a target of some long-standing grudge. The man, however, only has enough attention to spare for Thea. Thea was originally translated as Thea from the CN release. Oh, the same name as one of the OG community members. The Sumi mega fan, I love that. Oh man.
待って
Oh, that's George.
行かない方がいい
My shout at the moment too late. In a single moment, the belligerents all receive a bullet through the head. They cease all movement on the ground, the scent of their viscera mingling with gunpowder and spreading through the district air. Mmm. Spicy meat. Thea does not hesitate. It's evident that she's used to such scenarios. She neatens her gloves and continues to work as if the corpses on the ground aren't there. She acts as if she hadn't heard my call.
完了いたしました地下監獄にまだ空きがあるなどと考えていたのですが
Oh, imagine being cleanup crew after this.
地下監獄が空いているか否かの問題ではない。また同じことが起きれば問答無用で射殺しろ。モコシュの町は安全でなければならないのだ。
The woman named Thea lowers her head in silence, her countenance hidden from view.
かしこまりました
次はないぞ。
Hia's expression remained unmoving the entire time whether she apologized, lowered her head, or was lost in perplexity. If there was anything that indicated any emotion, it would be her hand that periodically moved to caress the accessories on her person. Finished with his rebukes, the man named George turns his attention to me.
さて、これはお見苦しいところをお見せしました。
Leaving his point half unfinished, he takes a look at Ulred. A hint of a smile appears beneath his cruel eyes.
なかなか優秀な護衛がいるようですね。まさか商談の前にこのようなことが起きるとは。
His lips jerk into a smile.
テロリストの対処に客人の手を煩わせるなんて全く面目ない。
私のことを知っているのですか？
もちろん。
Ah yes, the kings of tomatoes.
スーザ家の皆様。本日は西部への進出にあたって商談にいらしたと聞いております。ところで、この
Potato daughter is actually your
家族だという報告を受けておりますが。
Your beloved Graps. He remembers the pitch even better than I do.
お目にかかれて光栄です。その様子だとあなたがこの町の管理者のようね。
正確に言えば町のリーダーです。どうぞジョージとお呼びください。イエローエリアで農業を成功させるほどの人物だとお伺いして直にお迎えに上がった次第です。
そうですね。今回の商談は我が一族にとっても非常に重要です。各部門の担当者で姉妹や娘たちも
Older and younger sisters, partner and daughter.
今買い物中でして。
おや、ご息女までいらしているのですか？ここまでは長い道のりだったでしょう。
娘と言っても養子ですよ。それに
Oh gosh, so he's plural there. Daughters, yes.
なるほど。
Except I'm not bringing my other daughters. Or will I? An almost imperceptible sliver of skepticism travels through his eyes, but his lips are ready to smile with a sudden realization.
ポルドニッツァから最上級のおもてなしをするようにと仰せつかっております。
大げさですよ。ポルドニッツァには少し貸しがありまして、それが今回のご縁につながったというわけです。これではむしろ借りを作ってしまいましたね。
No doubt used to such flattery, he smiles faintly and moves onwards. The judgmental look on his face eases.
ジョージさん、パーティーの準備ができました。
Wait, banquet.
お客様たちをホテルに
food!
ご案内いたしましょうか。
Thea suddenly interjects in our conversation, having finished directing the squad scene cleanup. George only motions for silence, quite unsatisfied with her interrupting him. He instructs her to leave. Looks like some of my words do get through.
何やら特別な方法でトマトを栽培していると伺ったのですが。
He questions me as we walk. His smile is exceptionally bright, almost bright enough to make one forget about the prying nature of his words.
大したことではありません。イエローエリアでは土地はいくらでもあります。重要なのは肥料と日当たりです。それが特別な方法だといえば確かにそうかもしれませんね。
I mentioned the experimental fields over at the doll community. I've at least grasped the basics of agriculture after trying to keep up with everyone else.
興味深い。我々もいろんな方法を試していましたが、結果は見ての通り。まあ、ここで話すのもなんですし、詳しい話はまた後にしましょう。
He smiles glowingly, and after thinking for a moment, he produces an invitation letter more ornate than something that should be appearing in the yellow zone and places it in my hand.
そうだ、忘れるところでした。
これは？
商談はもちろん大事ですが、私にとって人付き合いも
Ooh,
同
party.
じぐらい大事です。モコシュに来て早々嫌な思いをさせてしまったお詫びをさせてください。手始めに
I shall go to the
まずは
party for
この
food.
ダンスパーティーから。ご家族もぜひご一緒にどうぞ。
Except I don't know how to dance, so if it's a ball, please don't force me to dance. He takes a long and deep look at my family, a knowing smile spreading across his lips, like I know what you are. The discomforting look on his face makes me doubt whether or not he really has a passion for these parties and balls he speaks of. Even if he smiles like we were you were my childhood friend, reuniting with me after many years. I will never forget the ruthlessness with which he ordered the deaths of those people mere moments ago. I'm sure he knows that too.
もちろん断っていただいても構いません。我々は客人に無理強いをしませんので。
Examining the exquisite patterning and foil stamping on the invite, I feel that I might as well give Groza a chance to relax.
どうやらジョージさんはまだご存知ないようですね。
おや、もしや社交界にも名を馳せているお方でしたか。
その時になればわかりますよ。ダンスパーティー楽しみにしています。
Exciting! George visibly relaxes and accepts his invitation.
最高のパーティーになることを約束いたします。
そういえばジョージさん。
はい。
モコシュにいる間、街の中を見て回ってもいいですか？妹が買い物好きでして、それに私も街のことを知りたいですし。
もちろん。ただ街のことについては、
Well, it seems good.
私どもに説明させていただいた方がわかりやすいかと。
それもいいですが。
You wonder what George would think if he caught us dancing romantically and kissing our sister group. Heck, all of our sisters, older and younger. I gesture at the surroundings.
正直、底辺住民についてはあなた方の説明だけでは足りないでしょう。自分の目で見た方が早いと思います。
Like that's how we keep our family secret.
一本や
A
られま
close-knit
した。
secret.
長年
We keep it within the family.
私たちには私たちのやり方があります。ただ、私のパートナーはまずこのモコ
Most
シで
luxurious
一番
hotel.
豪華なホテルが見たいと言っております。ジョージさん、よろしければ案内してくださいませんか？
パートナー
Aw, Ulrid's so
もちろ
happy.
ん。すでに最上級の部屋を予約しております。
Someday I'll summon you,
で
Ulrid.
はお願いします。
どうぞこちらへ。
George raises a hand and makes an inviting gesture, ignoring the hints of braggadocio in his voice. We follow him deep into the winding streets. Quite noticeably, even as George proceeds with easy steps, the people on the street all display expressions similar to the armed criminals from just moments ago. And then it naturally just fades. Okay. All good. Ta-da! Listless night. There was no day or night here, no moon or stars, only darkness. Edgy, very edgy. After George left us at the hotel, we tied ourselves up before we stepped out on the street. Because of the work Mei-Ling mentioned previously, she was so keen to come here that she made preparations to come here by herself. For safety's sake, however, we ended up deciding to come together.
ホテルの中とは随分と
I'm gonna protect my daughter, Mei-Ling. I can't help but exclaim at the difference between the two environments. Inside the lavishly grand hotel, everyone present seemed radiant and lively. There were smiles on their faces as natural as those of any Whitestone resident, and the rooms were decorated with similar finery. There are even some carefully chosen little gifts laid out for us. On the other hand, the street we now find ourselves in is filled with those taken by pain or madness. Seeing as our goal is to survey the area, though, we do need to see all the places Makosh has to offer.
いろいろと見ておかないとね。
Ulrich and Suomi are off preparing for the ball and tallying up the crops we brought. Only Groza and Krolik are with me, but Mei-Ling appears a little off compared to yesterday. She's constantly looking around, as if searching for something.
心配しないで。何かあったら守ってあげるから。
Mei-Ling's preparations might have been mistaken for uncertainty regarding the security of the place, but Krolik tries to comfort everyone in her own way.
指揮官はあのジョージのことをあまり信じてないみたいね。
ここはあいつが言っているほど単純な場所じゃない気がする。
Well, George is
さっき
pretty
言ったホ
brutal.
テルだって。
何？気に入らなかったの？グリーンエリアほどじゃないけど十分豪華でしょ？
違う。問題はそこじゃない。ホテルと他の場所の格差がありすぎるのよ。しかも、
Huh.
貿易都市とは言ったものの、実際ちゃんと商売をしているのはさっき私たちのいたエリアだけよ。
That's a good
ボ
thing
ル
to
ガリッツァの
notice.
言っていた規模とは程遠い。
他にも商業地域がないとおかしいってこと？
Underground trading. She surveys the surroundings and takes in the sight of the dilapidated district in sharp contrast to the hotel.
少なくともこの辺じゃなさそうね。
My guess is probably the
それが問題
party.
よ。
We continue moving forward as we travel through the broken buildings. The street is maybe only 1/5 as well lit as the street where the hotel sits, with only a few scattered light sources illuminating the silhouettes of our surroundings. We decide to escort her together to the meeting, as we are totally willing to let Mei-Ling move around the city by herself under any circumstances. Yes, protect the Mei-Ling. It would serve as part of our investigations into the city anyway. Mei-Ling opposed this overly protective course of action immediately, but she still clings onto my arm tightly, feeling a little fearful. I will protect my daughter.
ここら辺は明らかに電力も
Also, it's very dark here.
地下都市の照明は
Wandering a new
コストがかかる
place in
とはいえ
darkness is terrifying.
ここまでケチる必要はないはずよ。こんな環境で暮らすのはあまりにも危険すぎる。
As unrealistic as expecting good lighting in the yellow zone is, the other party asked Mei-Ling to meet them here. I condemn George's pretentious generosity deep down as I consider whether I should tell Mei-Ling to give up on this request from her fellow townsmen. Just as I'm dwelling on the thought, the path ahead grows brighter.
あれ？
Huh?
電気がついたのですか？
違う。これは自然光を取り入れた照明システムよ。
The circular glass domes above us give off a gentle light. As faint as it is, the light extending down the street softens its sharp outlines.
ジョージのことを少し勘違いしていたかもしれないわね。
同好感ですね。こんなものを地下に敷くのは大変ですよ。
Light pipes are hardly rare technology, and it's no rarity for underground shelters in the yellow zones to use light pipes for illumination. The deployment of them on such a large scale, however, is a considerable work of engineering. The lighting system here has been carefully constructed to acquire light from the outside, combining with artificial lighting that fills in the gaps on overcast days and at nighttime. A baseline level of brightness is maintained with energy consumption and cost-value ratio taken into account. Impressive!
しかもこの配置、素晴らしいです。
Very impressive. Illuminated by the soft light, we spot several people undertaking survey work. They dress in uniformed workwear, and they give off a different air than the agitation and dread found amidst the other residents of Makosh. A busy sense of fulfillment surrounds them, yet a certain tiredness mixes itself in. Noticing a bizarre group of individuals, the one among them that appears most like the leader approaches us.
Mei-Ling?
Oh, this is the one who invited Mei-Ling. Wu Xian's a strong single-target physical DPS, but she really only shines with a ton of copies. Oh. The other party is an amiable old man. In stark contrast with the city's other residents, his eyes are bright, and he carries himself with vigor. He identifies Mei-Ling with a single look and carries himself calmly. His subtle gaze stays on me for a moment before he nods politely and turns back to Mei-Ling. Looks like he's the client to arrange the meeting with Mei-Ling, though the reaction is somewhat delayed, maybe because she's unfamiliar with such situations.
私のことですか？
Bring out the bottle of booze, and then Mei-Ling will recognize you.
まずは自己紹介だったな。私は第11機械工学設計局の特級エンジニア、ホワイトという。
If OT's 14 was still months away, Cheyenne would be more appealing. Mei-Ling pulls out her terminal as a man speaks and seems to be comparing something. After a brief moment, she exclaims with a sudden realization.
もしかして。
知り合い？
I'm still worried about Mei-Ling, so I don't let my guard down. I take a step forward to stand next to her. She still seems to be doubting and questioning how she should express herself, but she manages to get something out after some considerable thought.
はい、一応知り合いです。前に言いました。同じ故郷のエンジニアさんです。
君がエルモ号の指揮官だね。雰囲気ですぐ分かったよ。
Seeing that Mei-Ling is hesitant, he removes his protective gloves and offers me a handshake before I question him. His sleeve is newly stained with machine oil, and his hands are and his hands still bear marks made by cabling. I wonder if it's due to his similar appearance to Mailing, but I don't feel any antagonism towards him.
何のことですか?
What's a commander? I still offer him my hand even though I deny my identity. My name is by no means suitable to bring up in spontaneous conversation, but he does not treat me like a wanted criminal and offers me the same civility.
安心してくれ。悪いようにはしない。私はただメイリンに会いに来ただけだよ。
I turn to Mailing, seeking her opinion. She nods.
ポルドニッツァさんの紹介でモコシュで私に手
And
伝
I
っ
want
て
to
ほ
summon
しい仕
Sexton.
事があると聞いたんですが、
She turns to the engineer after explaining the situation to me.
その仕事って一体。
もう見ただろう？それだよ。
Dr. White turns somewhat to the side, gesturing for us to look behind him. The light we were so thankful for a moment ago comes from the most important illumination system on the side of the city. The work that Mailing was about to accept was related to this the whole time.
この照明システムはあなたが設計したの?
Impressive, sir. The elderly man shakes his head with a smile. He only tosses a look of praise backwards to the team working behind him.
自然光を取り入れるには地形を熟知している必要がある。私はあくまでも構想を提唱しただけで、設計自体は別の人間によるものだよ。
Only initiated.
あんたたちを招き入れたの?
第11局とモコシュはもともと持ちつ持たれつ。ジョージに何かを言われてきたわけではない。それにモコシュも第11局との関係を壊したくないはずだ。
I look at his jacket and I find the 11th Bureau's mark, and even the organization's operational goals emblazoned on it, relief efforts for humanitarian goals. If I'm remembering correctly, the files Polonitsa provided me mentioned that the dam Okosh depends on for its existence was constructed by the 11th Bureau for free. Free?
あなたたちは無償でモコシの支援をしているのですか?
あまり理解されないことだが、
That is so
必
nice.
要だと思ってね。太陽の光はモコシの一番上の層にしか届かない。しかし地下の根にも太陽の光が必要だ。たとえそれが借り物の光でも。
私にも手伝わせてください。
She leaps at the opportunity, even forgetting the fear in her heart, as she stops holding tightly onto me.
やっぱり母親に似ているな。
Mama?
メリー、ちょっと待って。まだホワイトさんに聞きたいことがある。
I stop Mailing from getting ahead of herself. Perhaps she hasn't discovered the trick yet. Rather than a side job, this request is more akin to an interview. The old man in front of us is surely hoping that Mailing will return to the organization her parents came from, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for her. The 11th Bureau's work is no doubt meaningful and would make proper use of her talents. I come to the resolution that Mailing would be the one to make the decision herself. I would only make sure that she is not tricked or misinformed.
聞きたいこととは？
失礼ですが、身分を証明できるものはありませんか？疑っているわけではありませんが、メイリンは私にとっても大事な人です。こういう場所ですから、念のために。
For her to be safe, his approachable smile doesn't lessen at all as I put forth my suspicions.
問題ない。むしろそうでなくては。私の ID だ。好きに調べるといい。
Oh, nice! He passes me an age engineer certification from the 11th Bureau. The leather covers are visibly aged yet well preserved, and it still gives off a gentle gleam in the light.
失礼します。
Nice! The 11th Bureau's documents are quite plain, speaking about nothing but the organization's glory and meaningful history. Alongside the 11th Bureau, certifications are State-Sec-issued URNC specialist certificates, nothing I haven't seen before. His identity is guaranteed by the URNC and his safety is ensured by State-Sec with his ultra-high security clearance.
何か質問があれば聞いてくれ。
Background check
私に
complete.
答えられることなら何でも答えるよ。
もう指揮官、こんなことしなくても。
You're always important, Meiling. Meiling peeks at me and mumbles lightly. I swear she's smiling over ever so slightly.
それと指揮官、警戒しているのは私も同じだよ。
ええ、もちろんです。お互いメイリンのためを思ってのことですから。
All for you,
しかし
Meiling.
先ほどの話を聞く限り、ホワイトさんはメイリンの両親のことを知っているのですか？
As the topic is brought up, Meiling becomes a million times more nervous than she was previously, and she starts pinching at her clothing.
シンと愛知はもともと第7部の所属で、戦後私と共に新ソ連へと向かった優秀なエンジニアだった。
Oh, we once worked at the same side as State Sec.
第11局の任務中
They
に
may have threatened to execute us and our
殉職した
boss if we didn't do what they said, but we ended on good terms.
我々第11局が責任を持って面倒を見るべきだった。
それじゃなんで今頃になって。
A barely perceptible hint of hurt creeps into Meiling's tone.
ずっと見つからなかったからね。我々の人手が足りなかったばかりに。
Ah,
闇ブローカーの助けで居場所を特定できた頃、君はもう一人前のエンジニアになっていた。君は自分の力
watching
で
her from afar.
自分の生活を築いていた。とても立派だ。だからそれを邪魔してはいけないと思った。
Meiling is the best.
必要な時だけ力を貸そうと決めた。もし君の両親が見ているのなら、きっと同じことを思うだろう。
そうでしたか。もっとお父さんとお母さんのことを
Ooh, family
教えて
stories.
もらってもいいですか？
もちろんだよ。故郷の記念館にも2人の記録がちゃんと残っている。
故郷。
一度
Home.
戻ってみたくないかい？
Meiling's the only reason the Omo functions if she leaves the story in. He also helps us with gotcha. I already know how Meiling would answer. After all, I've seen her ruminating with her parents' notebook in hand on more than one occasion. But now she hesitates. The answer that should leave her mouth in an instant turns into silence upon her lips. All I can do now is what is best for Meiling.
申し訳ありませんが、メイリンに手伝ってほしいという仕事についてもっと詳しく教えてもらえないでしょうか？
指揮官。
Meiling lightly tugs at my clothing, perhaps frustrated by me speaking on her behalf without permission, or simply hoping to direct the conversation herself, or maybe a mix of both. I should have been happy that Meiling was making her own decisions. All I hope is that she'll make her choice once everything has been made clear. A conversation with a third party will help her gain a more objective perspective.
ごめん。でもあなたの安全のために必要なことなの。
我々第11局とモコシュの間にはしっかりとした契約が結ばれている。
Sounds good so far.
ロレンでさえないがしろにはできないものだ。もちろん仕事中の安全は私が保証しよう。そしてこの仕事が終わったらメイリンを広報の研究部門に転属させることも約束でき
So
る。
you can guarantee that, huh? My expectations becoming reality is less of a shock than expected. Rosa and Krolik grow unsettled with the sudden realization, and they look at me nervously as if waiting for me to turn him down. For Rose and the others, Meiling is more like family than just a companion. The same goes for me too. We're all family here. Still, I don't plan on changing my mind. I don't plan on intervening with Meiling's own decision.
この仕事が終わったら。
Meiling appears confused for a moment, but she reacts quickly and gets nervous again.
第11局の本当の目的はやはりメイリンのスカウトでしょ？
まだ要請すら出していないよ、指揮官。ただ新メイリーさんにはぜひ第11局に入ってもらいたいと思っている。
私が第11局にですか？
Up to you, Mei-ling. It may or may not have be the thought that her parents once worked there that comes to her mind, but Mei-ling looks both expectant and troubled.
返事は今すぐじゃなくていい。じっくり考えなさい。今回は職業体験だと思えばいい。返事はその後で聞こう。
After soothing Mei-ling's emotions, Dr. White turns to me to ask her my thoughts.
指揮官はどう思っているのかね。
Well, it's all up to Mei-ling.
悪い話ではありません。ただやはり本人の意思が一番大事ですね。メイリンはどう思う？
それはまだわかりませんよ。エルモ号の仕事もまだいっぱい残ってますし。
Even with the overtime, yeah.
指揮官だって私がいなければ困るでしょ。だからもう少しエルモ号にいてあげてもいいと。
Just remember, Mei-ling, if you leave the Elmo, we'll all die. No pressure now. She speaks with no small amount of apprehension in her voice as she looks back and forth between Dr. White and me. I detect a little bit of something resembling anticipation in her eyes. I suddenly begin to wonder if Mei-ling is looking forward to a potential new life or something else altogether. Dr. White slowly begins to speak as if he has intuited what's on my mind.
指揮官、エルモ号は今各国からテロ組織と認定され
Oof,
ている。
saying that my place is not safe enough for
それ
Mei-ling.
は君が
Ouch.
一番よく知っていることだ。客観的に見て、メイリンは今いてはならないところに身を置いている。だから我々もこのように動いた。
This is a custody battle for Mei-ling at this point. Clearly, they've done their research. I must admit that his perspective is correct. If I were in their place, I would do the same.
確かに
Ouch.
私もメイリンを巻き込むことを望んでいません。メイリンさえ良ければ意義はありません。彼女の人生です。
In this custody battle, Mei-ling gets to choose who she ends up with in the end. I turn to look at Mei-ling, and she appears surprised for some reason as we lock eyes. A little wounded, almost. Mei-ling? Hey, we've been wanted tears before. We were fine then. That's why I only nod in encouragement towards her decision.
大丈夫よ、メイリン。あなたのしたいようにすればいい。もし
This Mei-ling wants to be like, we want you to stay,
第11局に間に合わなか
Mei-ling.
ったらまたエルモ号に帰ってくればいいわ。
I would miss you, Mei-ling.
待ってください、指揮官。私はまだ行くとは言っていません。
故郷に帰ってみたくないのかい、メイリン。
She falters again at the question. I love how it's just like, we're not gonna force you to make a decision now, Mei-ling, but... Hey, Mei-ling, don't you want to go here instead, Mei-ling? Mei-ling, Mei-ling, Mei-ling? She falters again at the question.
帰ってもいいのよ、メイリン。
指揮官、今回はただ仕事を手伝いに来ただけって。
It feels like pushing her.
これじゃまるで少しぐらい引き止めたって。
No, Mei-ling, don't think that way. I want you to stay. Ugh. Maybe she wanted me to advise her on the matter. Oh my goodness, I feel like we're being so dense right now. I don't want her to make any decisions based on her emotions in the moment or be tied down by my influence. Telling her about the other options she has at an appropriate time might help her see what she really wants more clearly. But even so, like, sure. But Mei-ling wants to hear a little bit of, I'll miss you, Mei-ling, if you do decide to go. As someone already used to working on the Elmo, experiencing the 11th Bureau will no doubt be beneficial.
メイリン、あなたはまだ若い。
We did something similar to Kalina 10 years ago. Old habits die hard then. As Mei-ling takes a heavy breath in, Groza breaks through the silence.
それでメイリンはホワイトさんの手伝いに行くの？ この後のダンスパーティーはどうすんの？
私は休暇に来たんじゃ。
No, 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 no. Come to the ball first. Her voice suddenly freezes over. Her voice has never sounded so frail, not even after 7 months. 7 months of overtime? Leaving me with a burning stare that seems to convey 1,000 words, she suddenly turns and runs towards the 11th Bureau's engineers. Even Dr. White raises an eyebrow in surprise. I give the elderly man a pleading look, one that he instantly understands, regardless of what prompted Baily to act so petulantly. I still hope that Mr. White will take good care of her.
じゃあ私たちはダンスパーティ
Here's to
ー
the
に行
next
きましょ
7
うか。
months. As much as it still hangs in my mind, Baily appears to have made her decision already. I just sort of not really. I bet she wanted to stop her and be like, Baily. I clear the thoughts from my head and place my hands on Rose's and Krolik's shoulders to assuage their anxiety. This is oof. That hurt a bit. Double blind tango. Nobody knows each other's trump cards under their masks. Ooh, fancy.
指揮官、
Oh,
こ
cute!
れイエローエリアではあまり食べられないものですよ。
そんなにいちいち驚かなくても。
The tables are draped in exquisite lace, a luxury that feels wholly out of place compared to the harshness outside. Suomi picks up the arranged cutlery and takes cake on the table and presents it to me.
指揮官も一つどうですか？
Yes, please.
さっきから元気がないようですが。
The chocolate garnish in the cake cream looks incredibly rich under the room's light, and the dessert's aroma draws my mind away from the events of a few moments ago. Suomi stands on her tippy toes, trying to deliver the cake to my mouth.
それじゃいただきます。
Thank you, Suomi. Nom nom nom. I lower my head to accept the offering from Suomi. It is only now that I notice that she's wearing a mask that looks rather out of place on her.
でその仮面は何？
もうなんで笑うんですか？似合ってませんか？
We discover these masks in the gift boxes left for us in our hotel rooms. By coincidence or otherwise, everyone managed to find masks that fit them, saving us the trouble of having to shop for them. Rosa found a warning upon the bottom of the boxes, writing, "Beware of trickery." It was obvious enough that the gift giver was not the individual I thought it was, leaving plenty to chew on for the mind. Unfortunately, the present moment required my undivided attention as the banquet was about to begin. Suomi covers the mask on her face with a hand, then turns to the also masked Krolik.
キャロリックさんはちゃんと似合っているのに。
はあ？どう見てもあんたの方が似合ってるでしょうが。
I wonder why she has a scarf on with that
そう
outfit.
ですか？
It's a nice
似合
dress.
ってるなら。
Interesting choice of accessory. Suomi lets out a long sigh of relief after receiving Krolik's affirmation.
あら、仮面をつけていないなんて失礼ね。
Hello, hello, today I'm playing Girls Frontline 2. Rosa's crisp voice suddenly rings in my ears. Her familiar pair of hands fits a mask akin to theirs onto me from behind.
私もこれをつけるの？
I turn to Rosa after she's done adjusting my hair and mask. Her eyes seem to be glittering, and it is only then that I remember how at home she is in such occasions, no less than how she is on the battlefield. However, I've had precious few opportunities to see her like this in the past 8 years she's been with me.
みんなつけているのだから、ここはちゃんと合わせないと。
Pretty dress. She whispers gently and naturally, wraps herself around my arm. Oh my, big sister!
そういえば、
Yeah, big sister, what are you doing? What if my wife catches you? She begins to loosen her grip around my arm, but I grasp a hold of her. Oh my!
それじゃ後で一曲踊らない？
Ah yes, my dear
Yes.
sister. We're gonna be dancing together, up close. Rosa appears rather satisfied with this roleplay. She gives me a smile so gentle, I could swear she's my real sister who has taken care of me for many years.
しょうがないわね。
I'm flirting with my sister. My other arm is snatched by another familiar pair of hands. Oh, my wife!
一緒にお姉様と座ろうか。
Hello, my wife. Over's acting is noticeably less natural. The blushing on her face betrays her inexperience in being someone's partner. For some reason, she tugs at me and tries to drag me towards her side. Rosa catches on and increases the force she's applying to me as well, putting me in a rather difficult position. Oh no, do I gotta choose between my sister and my wife? I got two arms. But before I can make a step, a rather conspicuous man wearing no mask appears before me. He grasps a glass of wine in his hand, and his entire figure looks like it's wrapped in gold. Aw, he didn't change his outfit. He approaches with his arms expanded in an exaggerated manner, examining me from head to toe. I'm hit by the potent smell of cologne, which embodied an invasive sort of luxury. Stinky. Ooh, I played the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. It was fun. Oh no, you're right. This is a Jeep dilemma. I've become Jeep.
あなたが唯一の主役です。あなたの存在で全てがより一層輝く。いや、唯一無二のトマトキング。
He even upgraded my title for me. Ah, yes. Tomato King. The title still sounds rather silly, though. Is that just how brokers do it?
さて、会場の雰囲気はどうでしたか？
正直な感想が聞きたいですか？
遠慮する必要はありませんよ。
いいパーティーですが、私がサルデーニャ島で参加したものと比べたら少し物足りませんね。スパのない会場など最上級のパーティー。
Hydro massage pool on the top.
だけどこのホールは気に入ったわ。ここまでの人数を収容できて、なおかつ窮屈に感じないなんて。
Rose's attention is focused on the center of the stage. Judging from the attendees' garb, chances are that many of them are not locals of Makosh like us.
グリーンエリアの遊びに慣れておられますな。ですが、ここはイエローエリアです。スパはありませんが、それ以上の娯楽を提供してみせましょう。
Imagine going to a party with a
世界中の
pool.
闇ブローカーたちが集まっています。それだけモコシの名をかけているというわけです。
もちろん、モコシの名はかねがね伺っております。本当に私の商売にふさわしい場所だといいですが。
それでこそです。唯一無二のトマトキングには唯一無二のモコシこ
Ooh,
そ
I'm a
ふさわし
special
い。
guest.
決して
And again, I am the Tomato
さ
King.
せることはありません。
He's right. The yellow zone circumstances force people to congregate together. The intermittent collapse storms, elids that strike the most at the most inopportune times, Variager's muzzles, each a sword of Damocles, hanging over the heads of those living here. Survival is only possible by coming together. However, surviving is not the same as prospering. Makoshi's abundance is all the more impressive considering the Yellow Zone's desert-like conditions. With its radiation-blasted surface, non-existent foliage, and groundwater stuck many hundreds of meters underground.
荒れ果てた大地の中で咲く一輪の花みたいだな。
George looks at Ulrid approvingly. His mouth turns upward slightly as his pride spills forth, but not before a touch of unease slips out.
まさしくその通りです。よく勘違いされることではありますが、このモコシはここまで伸びたのではなく、今も伸び続けているのです。
どうやらまだ大きな野心があるようですね。
Still rising,
も
huh?
ちろん、だからこそ私は常に人脈を広げようとしています。ここだけの話ですが、最近ホワイトエリアの投資家からも話が来ています。
Just a little humble bragging from
素
George.
晴らしい心意気です。イエローエリアなど所詮汚染された土地だと思っている者が多くいます。だからこそ私やあなたのようなものが生まれるんです。
やはり私の目に狂いは
Ah,
ありま
yes,
せ
it'll
んで
waste the
した。
world, alright.
きっと今宵は非常に愉快な夜になるでしょう。
He offers me a toast, and I bring my glass to meet his.
スを見たキャロリックはお腹が空いているようだ。
Same Lord.
とりあえず
Food.
席に案内してもらえないだろうか。
たく、なんで私が子供みたいに。
静かにしてください。
そうですね。案内してもらえない
I'm
でしょ
still
うか。
debating what I want to eat for
ジョ
dinner.
ージさん。
Maybe some rice with
私が案内させていただきますよ。
something or a peanut butter and honey sandwich.
秘書さんは来ていないのですか？
Or I can make instant noodles, but too lazy. I look behind him. His secretary and her distinctive garb are nowhere to be seen.
シーヤのことが気に入ったのですか？残念ながら彼女はこういう場面が苦手でね。それにあなたほどの客人ともなれば私自らもてなすのが当然でしょう。ご理解いただけましたかな？
そうですね。楽しみにしています。できれば愉快な商談になりま
Ah,
すよう
yes.
に。
Step further, we can become best friends. George smiles and declines to answer. He bows slightly and gestures for us to follow.
今回のお見積もりはこちらになります。そして我々が提供する物資やサービスの明細はこちらに。
George passes everyone a checklist of goods and pricings. I spot a wide and abundant variety of materials available under numerous categories. Even his stock taking dates and numbers are laid out clearly, with prices and services available labeled in detail. Nice! This would indeed fulfill the doll community's requirements. If the figures here aren't falsified, they'll be sufficient to provide a stable supply to the doll community, even if it expanded threefold. The demands for crops here are satisfactory too. I even consider the possibility of sectioning off some more land to turn into fields. However, too good to be true. The someone offer here cuts a hard deal, risking no real profits or even losses if anything goes awry with logistics.
これは
This? Unsurprisingly, her hand begins to tremble slightly when she sees the figures. I decide to ask for further details before she loses grip of herself.
ジョージさん、見積書の数字に間違いはないでしょうか？
もちろん作成にあたって何度もチェックが入っています。
His smile remains as brilliant as ever. He produces a fountain pen, noting this and that on the pages. Wow, what a true professional.
数学が苦手なものも多くてね。見積書には分かりやすい図表も添付させていただいていますよ。
Very nice.
問題
Easy
は
to
そこじゃ
read.
ないわ。
I stop Rosa before she goes any further, gesturing at the number at the bottom of the checklist.
私たちは遠路はるばる猿縫南部から来ました。それにしてはあまり誠意を感じられない値段になっています。
ああ、値段ですか。確かにいまいち心が
Unexciting
躍らない
offer.
数字になっていますが、残念ながらそれが現状です。我々の供給先はセシト&ファルベングループなどのホワイトエリアの大手会社になります。なので品質にはうるさくてね、この値段でもだいぶギリギリです。
ホワイトエリアの大手会社？何バカなこと言ってんの？
それは面白いですね。セシト&ファルベンと取引を？
Perhaps this is the true reason behind Makosha's poverty.
もちろん
Oof.
我々はファルベングループと長期間業務提携しています。なのでホワイトエリアの品質が我々の基準です。あなた方の農産物にその値段を出したのもそのためです。もちろんもう少し譲歩していただければこちらも何かと便宜を図ることができます。
Obviously, he has no intention of clarifying what he means.
この値段でさらに譲歩するなんて。
譲歩なんてご冗談を。輸送コストも考えて正直これの3倍の値段を提示してもらわなければ
Triple?
話になりません。
George's face contorts as if struck by a heavy blow. He appears visibly shaken, though it is clearly just an act.
いやはや、そちらこそさすがに冗談が過ぎるのでは。
お互い様でしょ。こんなふざけた見積もりを見
Should we
せら
really
れて
be haggling this at the
ロ
party?
コシの農産物の平均価格についてはすでに調べてあります。正直なところ あなたたちがこの見積もりの5倍の値段を提示
I
した
thought
の
we would
も
at least eat some food first,
十
dance
分
a bit,
収益
and
で
then
認
talk
めるはずです。
talk business.
それこそリサーチ不足なのではありませんか。実際の取引価格なんてそこまでいきません。
He potentially moves to take back the papers he handed us, but I smile and stop him.
公平公正な取引が私のモットーです。
誰しもそう言う。しかしモコシュ全体の決算が赤字続きなのもまた事実です。私とて農業について全くの素人というわけではありません。泥臭くても食い下がる時はありますよ。
つまり私たちの商品に不満があると？
George scans the security present at the venue. The weapons in the hands of the Makosh Oathsworn cannot be compared to haphazardly assembled civilian firearms. It's apparent that he's considering coming to a deal some other way.
不満
Please
と
don't,
いうかなん
George.
というか、実はもう一つ提案がありましてね。
抱き合わせの契約か？そんな要望を受け付けるつもりはないぞ。無理なら私たちは帰ります。
I stop the red-faced Ulrid as she suddenly rises from her chair. I continue to communicate with George, try to see this cooperation through no matter what.
抱き合わせはあまり好きではありませんが、一応話は聞きましょう。
よろしい。ではこれもここだけの話ですが、実は最近人形に興味がありましてね。
人形
For what reason, sir? All the dolls sitting with me react in different ways at the mention, and Filmy fails to stay silent.
人形です。ホワイトエリアの金持ちの中では
Toys, huh?
人間と同等の権利を与えて時間をかけて徐々に人間らしく育てるというのが全く趣味が悪いものです。
His eyes glitter in the same way that they did when he first met me, as if he's talking about the deal of a century.
モコシュにもそういう産業があってもいいと最近思いまして、売り物にすることもできれば働かせることもできる。実に素晴らしいと思いませんか？
I see Ulrid ball her hand into a fist.
そんなことよりも、まずは信号灯でも修理した方がいいと思いますよ。それに人形産業はそう簡単に参入できるものではありません。特にイエローエリアで人形を維持するには。
He only grows more and more excited as we speak, seemingly keen to settle a deal on this matter with me right here now.
コストがかかるでしょ。部品が多くて壊れやすくて電気代もバカになる。しかしそこをなんとかすれば。
And no cost, huh? This sounds sus, dude. George activates the device on the table and projects forth an image. He wasn't lying when he said that he often talks business here. The subject matter he presents us with, though, is nothing but unnerving. The outskirts of the Marley power plant.
具体的な座標はここでは教えられませんが、この場所に多くの人間が集まっているという情報がありました。全員主のない人形です。どうですか？私とあなたが協力すれば、ここを制圧、管理することは増産もない。
No.
共に新しい事業を始めてみませんか？
In the corner of my eye, Ulrid's face grows almost ashen. I understand how she's feeling, but in this moment...
正直な話、いくら農産物の品質が良くてもね、ここにいる者にとってそれは贅沢です。食生活が少し良くなったところで何の意味もありません。
Your food's too good for the people
もし
here.
この話に乗ってくれるのでした
Dude.
ら、農産物の
Yeah,
方
what's
も
up with
もう
you,
少し
George? You already got me on the inside.
もしいい感じの人形を捕まえることができたら、きっとホワイトエリアの方でいい値がつくでしょうね。
George, stop. George continues to put forth ideas, fanning the flames of Ulrid's fury. Her hand lightly trembles as I hold it with mine.
ジョージさん、
Flash.
申し訳ございません。
Before I can rise to my feet, a shadow casts its shade in front of me, and I hear the sound of glasses falling over with a clatter. A scarlet red liquid mixed with ice spills all over my clothing.
おいおい、客人になんて失礼な。そのドレスは高級品だぞ。
George reprimands the attendant with surprise on his face, but the lack of surprise in his voice and his smug smile betray his true thoughts. Is he upset that I dress so well?
申し訳ございません、ジョージ様。それにお客様もすぐにお片付けいたします。
The attendant apologizes as she anxiously wipes away at my stained clothes with a towel, but she only makes the alcohol spread as she wipes, making my appearance even more unkempt. I think the sudden movement I made to stand up might have scared the attendant pouring wine for me, which caused her to spill the wine all over my suit. Thankfully, that incident snapped me back to reality too.
大丈夫。あとは自分でやるわ。
そういうわけには参りません。今すぐ
Oh my, a change of clothes, eh? You know my measurements?
お待ちください。
Why does the attendant's voice sound so familiar?
あなたはもしかして。
The attendant swiftly gathers her things and runs off before I can finish my question.
グローザ、ウルリドのことを頼んだわ。キャロリックはスオミを。
Oh my, oh my.
パーティーはまだ終わっていませんよ。とは言っても、その服だと、もうパーティーどころではありませんね。
Fine. His tone is overwhelmingly apologetic, but I sense that deep down he would love to see me embarrassed.
そうですね。少しだけ失礼させていただきます。その間、家族をよろしくお願いします。
I gesture at the still expanding stain on my clothing. George leaves it at that and allows me to leave. I move quickly to try and chase after the attendant.
奴を捕らえろ。
Capture?
待って。
I end up moving quite a significant distance from the dining table without realizing it. I only spot the attendant once I approach the dance floor, her silhouette distinct amidst the crowd of people clad in formal attire.
こんなに人がいるのに私だけを追いかけるなんて。
There's no doubt, this voice is someone I'm familiar with. I stand on her tail and eventually arrive at an area thronging with guests. The clamoring around me grows, and the oath sworn on security appear to notice something and prepare to move.
これが目的だったの？
指揮官があまりにも周りを見ていないから。
Wow, separating me from my wife and sisters. I fend off the other guests, gesturing at me with nods, but my attention remains fully focused on her.
あなたはここで何をしているの？
それは秘密ね。もう少し近寄ってこないと教えてあげられないわ。
She turns around without another word and continues to leave. Ooh. I like how they animated this. Hey girl.
相変わらずね、指揮官。
Oh my, Kabadon.
久しぶりね。DSR50。
Oop. Look at me with the pretty lady dancing on the floor with her. What will my wife say?
喋らないで。私に合わせて。
It's okay though. Oh man, though, if my wife and sister see. So intimate.
あなたが一番欲しいもの。
Ooh. Oh my, even the ear bites? What happened to our family trip? Are we about to get a new family member? Yo, this is intense dancing. We were killed.
じゃあ、私はここで。今度ゆっくり話しましょう。
Ah, And there she goes. As DSR-50 leaves, I mull over what she has left with me, a key with an unknown purpose, and the coordinates she lightly muttered straight into my ear. Oh my. I stick out like a sore thumb on the dance by myself, and the Oathsworn quickly latch onto me as DSR-50 slips through their fingers.
いいえ、ワインをこぼしてしまったの。着替えてくるわ。
Did he not see our dance? After dealing with the Oathsworn on patrol, I find a set of clothing up in my sizes left by someone in the dressing room. Among the clothes is a simple note, making it obvious that these have been left for me. I return to the hall with a brisk walk after making myself presentable again. George welcomes me back with a smile.
おやおや、もしかして衛兵のお世話になってしまったのですか?
In no mood to explain my experiences to him, I slowly begin to speak after ensuring that Ulrich and Groza are still safe.
ジョージさん、先ほど提示された条件ですが、前向きに検討させてください。
I stop her with a gesture of the hand.
賢明な判断です。
George appears pleasantly surprised.
ただ、まだこちらで確認しておかなければならないことがありますので、しばらく時間をください。
もちろん、時間はいくらでもあります。ゆっくりモコシをお楽しみください。
正直言って、今日いろいろ見てきたところ、モコシで野菜を売るのはあまりいい商売じゃないと感じました。名の知れた貿易都市なのに、みんな食に無頓着すぎます。
He deserves food. I offer him a toast, but he furrows his brow somewhat, as if he's been jabbed at.
それは失礼いたしました。今日はまだ他に商談がありますので、お見送りは遠慮させていただきます。
行きましょう、グローザ。
ええ。
I hear George speak in a different, deeper voice the moment I turn to leave. Okay. Red Onion. Whether she wills it or not, she is compelled to recall it anyway. Red Onion.
ここなの？
DSR-50 の情報だと、ここで間違いないはずよ。
We find an excuse to leave the ball before its conclusion. George fails to locate DSR-50 before we leave, and we quickly arrive at the coordinates provided under the cover of night.
普通の工場にしか見えませんが。
The factory appears perfectly mundane and unimpressive from the outside. Its internal workings are impossible to deduce, with the high voltage electric fence surrounding its perimeter.
情報は確かだよね。
指揮官、その DSR-50 というのは一体何者だ？簡単に言えばグリフィン時代の同僚ね。
Yeah, just a coworker, my wife. Surprisingly, mistrust remains in Groza's tone. With no memories of her time at Griffin, I had to tell her about the bare basics.
ただ、もう10年も消息がなかったから。
心配していることはわかる。正直私も彼女の本当の目的はわからないわ。
それで来てみたのはいいが、
何にせよ何もないよりはマシよ。
偽情報
Until that was good.
偽の情報でもうまく利用すれば何かの突破口になるかもしれないわ。だからやはりここの実情を調べた方がいいわね。
ジョージの真意が分かれば、私たちにとってもモコシュの住民にとってもいいことになるはずだ。とにかく行ってみましょう。指揮官は私の後ろに。
Thank you, Groza. Groza grasps the key I received from DSR-50, attempting to use it on the security system at the entrance. The security system allows us through with a series of notification sounds. Groza takes point to rush through the door and into the factory.
ウルリドは私と一緒に来て。スオミとキャロリックは外での見張りをお願い。何かあったらすぐに連絡を。
Time is tight. We have no way of knowing how long our access will last, so uncovering whatever hidden intel is contained here as soon as possible is our first priority.
了解。
はい、気をつけてくださいね。
わかったわ。早く行きなさい。
The temperature of the interior is notably different from the outside, and the control panel on the wall shows that the insides are being kept at a consistent 18 degrees Celsius. Cold. The factory's regulations and procedures were emphasized to us many times as we entered, even though we had no intention of observing them.
指揮官見てくれ。
これは
I follow Ulrich's gaze and spot a mechanical arm packaging transparent bottles. There are countless such production lines on the factory floor which spans many thousands of square meters.
製薬工場みたいね。
Ooh, pharmaceuticals,
しかもこの規
eh?
模の大きさだ。さっき制御台のリストを確認したところ、これらの薬品はセシュト&ファルベンに提供されている。
I flip through the shelves next to me and I find ingredient barrels marked with FABN's logo, arranged in tidy rows. The screens nearby display quality inspection reports that appear incredibly professional.
昨日ジョージの言っていたことは嘘じゃなかったみたいね。ウルリド、生産日誌がないか探してみて。
すでに
What a nice looking factory.
確認して後で内容を報告する。
I approach the production lines with Groza and try to discern the contents of the bottles.
指揮官、これはセシュト&ファルベンのロゴで間違いないわ。
本当にホワイトエリアの大企業と業務提携しているのか。道理で成長するわけだ。
Good for him.
中身を判別できないの？
ここでは無理ね。オーダーメイド品みたいだから市販のものとは違う。
サンプルを集めて後で調べてみましょう。ついでに倉庫の方も見ておきたい。
了解。
As Groza and Ulrich busy themselves examining the produced material and production logs, I begin to walk towards the hydraulic press behind the cold storage unit.
あっちを見てくる。
After receiving response, I make straight for the area behind the storage unit. As expected, a secret path is hidden behind the hydraulic press.
おっと。
As I descend the hidden path, I find no secret base or warehouse, but an entrance to the sewers instead. The sewers.
おかしいわね。
That's not something worth hiding behind machinery. I turn around towards the cold storage control panel. I don't have any dolls skilled in hacking with me, but the thought of DSR-50's intel suddenly pops into my head.
試してみよう。
Surprisingly, the control panel opens with a turn. It seems DSR-50 prepared a temporary key for me because the key doesn't have an employee name tied to it.
秘密を覗き見するには十分か。
Just as I follow on examining the contents, Ulrich's excited voice rings out.
指揮官、こっちに来てくれ。
Ooh,
何
dirt.
か分かったの？
I emerge from the cold storage and go over to Ulrich. A series of numbers are marked on the production log Ulrich is examining. The lights above us illuminate the pages as we flip through them, making the marks hard to see. This log might as well be a lead left especially for us.
原材料と生産数が全然合わないな。
Ooh.
それから従業員の数も怪しい。
従業員の数？
ああ、人員の入れ替わりが激しいが、それでもここの従業員数は500人前後となっている。
500人？でもここまで来
Yeah,
た
where's
従
all
業
the
員なん
500
て
people, huh?
一人も見なかったわよね。
I suddenly remember something, and I call to Groza as she finishes the task at hand.
グローザ、この工場は
全部機械による自動生産よ。
Where are the workers then? Another thought comes to mind.
ウルリド、こっちに来て。
Ooh.
このリストをどう思う？
一部だけだが、これは離職した従業員のリストで間違いないな。どうしてこんなものが。
わからない。だけどきっと何かの手がかりになる。念のためにコピーして持ち帰りましょう。
わかった。
この工場の生産許可は調べた？
I ask for an update from Groza as Ulrich proceeds with copying the list.
調べたわ。確かにここは製薬工場として登録されている。ただ、
Huh.
本来ならここで生産されるのは対放射線ワクチンのはずよ。
We look down at the products we took off the line just a moment ago. No matter how you look at them, they're nowhere close to vaccines.
グローザ、今ここにあるのはワクチンだと思う？
What are these then?
せいぜいもしかしたら
No more
ある
than
かもしれないっ
10%.
て程度。
やっぱりここは怪しいわね。
Considering Ulrich's discovery just a moment ago, I picked up the bottle on the table again.
指揮官何をするの
I don't make a fuss, and I hand the medicine to Groza, considering how worried she is.
大丈夫。中身を軽くチェックしてみるだけ。この間メイリーに装置を作ってもらったから。
I demonstrate its usage simply. Groza learns quickly and pays careful attention to the vapor she inserts the medicine into the device that I brought. As she inserts the medicine. Unsurprisingly, some of the contents are unidentifiable, but from what we can analyze,
これって
the substance ignites a certain déjà vu in Groza. She observes it closely in detail without a hint of fear, and she even removes a portion of it from its packaging. Similar is perhaps not the way to put it. A partial familiarity would be more accurate. A considerable amount of Erdis we seized in the amusement park after we rescued Florence, and the substance before us is stunningly similar to that. Oh. It's
エルティ
drugs.
スに似ている。でしょ
Ah. Just as I find myself surprised at how in sync Groza and I are, I find a strange look on Groza's face.
いや
Uh-oh. It's a look I've seen before. Her eyes drop in and out of focus, and it's a clear sign that her neural cloud is overloading like it's about to crash. It'll be difficult for her to even answer a simple question in her current state. Uh-oh. Red? There's no time to think. If something were to happen to Groza here, no, it's not something I'll allow.
グローザ、しっかりして。
どうかしたか
Groza, please be fine.
グローザ
Oop. The answer I was expecting doesn't come from Groza, but the ear-splitting shriek of an alarm.
何
まずい見つかった
Oops. I look at the access control system. Everything there seems normal, and there's no indication that we have breached it. In contrast, a huge red warning light is flashing over at Urizen. Sure enough, our attempt to copy the data has triggered the alarm. The sound of footsteps approach from afar. There's approximately 10 of them, judging by the sound. I look down at Rose again. Her lips tremble gently, like she might be returning to normal.
指揮官赤い玉ねぎを
Red onion?
私の最後の任務
何
Final mission? The name of the specter haunting Groza becomes clear.
思い出したみたい
Her voice trembles, but not with excitement. It's evident from the empty look in her eyes, that she's already thoroughly incapable of processing anything. I need to take Groza back as soon as possible.
分かったグローザ。このことは戻ってからゆっくり聞くわ。
指揮官敵が来る
ウルリド、スワミとキャロリックに連絡して。撤退準備。
分かった
グローザ、まだ動ける
She turns stiffly toward the sound of my voice, and she opens and closes her mouth in an attempt to try and answer me. Even getting a single answer out is a tremendous task for her.
なんとか
Ah. She shakes incessantly. I don't know what she's remembering or she's seeing, but in the dark depths of her eyes lies helplessness, confusion, and the will to resist. Hello, hello. It took a massive effort for Groza just to utter those two words. Immediate retreat is our best option.
撤退する
Please be safe, Groza. Combat start. Let's go. Okay, that worked out good. And I believe in my team. This is fine. For Groza.
みんなのために
Oh, look at how much work Rose is doing. She's doing so wonderful. All Rose and Ulred.
さっさと倒
My
れ
capable older sister and wife.
指揮官
早く乗って
無事で何よりだ
グローザ、さっきは何を思
Hey,
い
what
出
you
した
remember, girl? I help her into the car. I place her in a comfortable position and try to ask her about what happened. It's clear that she's in no condition to do anything. It must have been a real struggle for her to push through that battle in that condition. I can't help but feel worried. Aw. I gotta read the dusty journals to get more context
今
about
は
the red
答え
onion
なくてもい
thing.
い とにかく休んでいて。
She struggles to speak.
行ってみて。
Blood.
血？
Her hands quiver.
血が手に体中に全部火薬の
Oof.
匂い。
I can clearly feel everyone in the car catch their breath at these words.
グローザ、今のあなたに血はついていない。
For Groza.
近づかないで。危険だから。
Dangerous? I stare at her face, hoping to peer into what she's seeing in her mind. Her eyes are filled with terror as her hands shake constantly, the illusion of something on her hands taking over. All I can do is tightly clasp her hand in the hopes that her condition will stabilize.
グローザ、聞いて。あなたが何を見たとしても、それは本当のことじゃないわ。
Aw. She stops answering me and only grasps onto my hand tightly. She gradually relaxes before she falls into a peaceful sleep on my shoulder. I know the most about Groza's situation out of anyone. For a long time, despite her best efforts, her new cloud has been in turmoil. She's good at keeping herself together, but I can hardly just sit and watch. Perhaps part of the reason I brought her out was so that she could relax a little. More importantly,
さよなら。指揮官。
don't say sayonara. Boom. Rosa's resolve back then was so stark and absolute, but she would never reveal anything. Oops. Oh, no wonder. I was going auto for now. That one. But she would never reveal anything to me no matter how I asked her afterward. Now a possibility reveals itself. Danger. Is what did Rose experience with Red Onion? There's no way I'm going to leave her like this by herself, especially if the reason is over something like that.
辛いことを思い出させてしまったわね。ここにいる間くらいは楽に過ごさせてやりたかったけど。
Aw, I just wanted to go shopping and have a dance. Even if she might not be able to hear me, I mutter lightly. She doesn't answer.
もう大丈夫よ。まずはどこかに隠れましょう。他のことは一つ一つ調べていけばいい。強み、運転を頼んだわ。
Oh, hi, Thea.
ボスに指揮官が見つかったと。
おとなしくしてなさい。治療中です。そんなに頑張ってもボーナスは出ませんよ。ジョージさん、シーヤです。はい、客人は見つかりました。現場を確認しましたが、生産日誌、出荷リスト、生産許可などに関するデータが持ち出された痕跡がありました。それから赤い玉ねぎも2つ
Red
持ち
onion.
出されたようです。
His emotionless face twitches almost imperceptibly when she hears the response from the other end of the call. Her left brow raises ever so slightly, like the shift of a single pixel in a video game.
今すぐにですか？いいえ。ただ、退勤まで残り1時間程度しかありません。
No overtime.
1時間以内でですか？
She subconsciously runs her hands over an accessory she wears. In comparison to her usual demeanor, the act is almost ridiculously cute. She appears to calculate something for a moment. She gives a definite answer after a mere few seconds.
わかりました。
Mealing to be insulted.
残り52分30秒ですね。
戦場は片付いた。皆の者。
Mission completed. Food. So jealous. Drug-fueled dive. The shadow of a pill separates an illusion of joy from painful enslavement. Oop. To avoid the Oatsworn's pursuit, we race along the road after escaping the factory.
指揮官、追ってきているのは衛兵隊です。もしかしてまた指名手配されたのですか？
結構やらかしたからね。あいつらが出てくるのもおか
Insulted
し
are
くない
very glad that no one's competing with her for overtime hours.
指揮官、こんなことして大丈夫なのか？
どうせなら潔く戦った方がマシよ。 逃げ続けてもどうにもならないわ。
どっちにしろ商売はもう無理だな。
まだそんなこと考えてたの？昨日の夜でもう無理に決まってたじゃない。
でももともとそのために来たわけです
It's
し。
Needles did nothing wrong. And her purple sweet potatoes. Chloe furrows her brow in a sulky manner, as if sad on behalf of those beautifully cultivated vegetables.
指揮官。
The brief period of rest seems to have done her good. As weak as Rosa still appears to be, she's at least capable of speaking with me normally now. Ooh, I wonder, does Mealing get paid extra for working overtime with us?
もうすぐ着くわ。
A foreign signal introduces itself to our communication systems.
指揮官、久しぶりね。
DSR50。
覚えていてくれて嬉しいわ。
DSR50 彼女が
It be she.
ええ。だけど今はローレライという名前よ。指揮官にもできればその名前で呼んでほしいわ。
分かったわ。ローレライ、あなたの手がかりであの工場に行ったけど、もうジョージに発見された。おそらく今はお尋ね者よ。
お尋ね者なんて全然合わせ
Yeah,
ているように
professional.
聞こえないわね。もしかしてこういうのはもう慣れっこ。
人聞きの悪い。目的はわからないけど、私に情報をくれた時からこの状況を予想してたのでしょ。ジョージについて知ってること全部教えて。
Intel,
通
please.
信をかけたのはこっちなのに、この10年間意外と強気になったわね。
Yeah, we're still incredibly assertive.
そういうのは好きよ。
わかった。
Get it out of your
何か言い
system.
たいことがあればまた後で聞くから。
はい。後で。
The call suddenly begins to break down before I can hear what Lorelai has to say.
もしもし。
Oh. A sudden series of explosions cut the call short before it finishes.
肝心な時に。
None would ever know how desperately I want to hear her finish that sentence at the moment.
指揮官気をつけてくれ。
何が起きてるの？後ろのあいつ、この街を丸ごと爆破する気よ。
待って、指揮官、あっちにも人が。
衛兵隊？こんな大掛かりで私たちを追っているの？
We gotta finish this. We gotta finish this within an hour after all.
別の誰かが騒ぎを起こしているのかもしれない。
あっちこっちで騒ぎが起こるなんて物騒にも程があるわね。
いいえ、あの時も強盗犯みたいな連中ならこんな武器を持っているはずがないわ。
こんなことがよく起こるのなら非常食の需要があると思いますけど。
だから商売の話はもういいって。
I love the focus.
指示を。
グローザー、無理しないで。
Bullets whiz by at blinding speed. The formerly raucous market instantly dissolves into chaos as sparks over the entire street. Sparks cover the entire street, consuming everything with the price tag on it. A grenade from somewhere explodes not far away.
容赦がないわね。
Oof.
指揮官、後ろに注意してください。
Behind us is an armed force that I almost cannot make out. They're approaching in several vehicles, and they're less than 2,000 meters away.
全員戦闘準備。グローザは
大丈夫。
仕方ない。ウルリド、グローザを援護して。ああ。
We'll be fine. Yo, check out those shields. Very impressive. Let's go. Whee! Okay. And now the last few. Ta-da!
逃げられる。
Almost there.
さっさと倒れて。
Bonk.
戦場は
Got
片
him.
付いた。皆の者、よくやったな。
Confirm. Next part. Phase transition point. The accumulation of tiny variables is enough to trigger a catastrophic shift. How ominous.
終わったか確認してみるわ
Smoke permeates through the area, filling the space where people were just a few moments ago.
気をつけて。
それよりも早く離れた方がいいんじゃ。
その前にこいつらが誰の指示で来たのかを確認しておきたい。
周囲の警戒は私がやるわ。急ぎなさい。
Thanks, Krolik. I chamber my pistol again and slowly approach the fallen enemies.
やはり
Weird.
何か分かったのか
さっきから何か変だと思ったら
I pat them down, but I'm unable to find any signs of affiliation. The weapons they wield, however, contain technology from the White Zones. I think back to the Sesh FABN logo that we saw in the factory. A simple cooperative relationship wouldn't necessitate this degree of support, not to mention...
指揮官、私も。
こっちは大丈夫よ。近くに逃げ遅れた民間人がいないかを見てきて。
こいつらが衛兵隊じゃなければここまでの騒ぎが起きているのに、連中は一体何をしているんだ
Perhaps the answer lies in the objects before me. I try another body and search again.
指揮官
Eh? This one feels different to the touch.
失礼します
Oop.
避けて
This one managed to slip through. They grip my hand so tightly after pulling the pin on the grenade that my joints begin to creak. All I can do is tell the dogs to spread out.
10秒間に合いましたね
10 seconds.
グローザ近づくな危険だ
あれはジャミンググレネー
Oh, you recently came back to the game.
ド。奴らの目的は指揮官。
It's okay, you'll be able to max out Kukai later. The faraway voices become indistinct. The only thing left in my world is a blurred face of this one remaining enemy.
あなたは
I finally wrestle the grenade from her grasp as she counts to 3, throwing it far away as I can. The explosion goes off almost right after, and it throws everything into chaos. I feel a pair of female arms suddenly lift me upwards. I instinctively move to free myself, but I suddenly hear a familiar voice.
シーヤ、退勤の時間だよ。
I suddenly remember what George said.
シーヤのことが気に入ったのですか。残念ながら
Work's
彼女は
done.
こういう場面が苦
終わったか
さっき何か変な声がしたような。
そんなことはどうでもいい。指揮官は
Ulrich looks on in disbelief. The enemy has disappeared along with the commander, in a puff of smoke, like some sort of magic trick.
指揮官、どこにいるの
She fails to hide the panic in her voice as she stumbles back and forth across the battlefield. She searches and searches, looking for any trace of the commander.
指揮官、聞こえているのなら返事を。
ソミ捜索範囲を広げるぞ
I'm alive.
指揮官、返事して。
Rosa tries the last communications channel available to her. As the search remains fruitless, the only answer she receives is a deafening silence.
指揮官、指揮官。
The silence she receives in return only amplifies the turmoil in her already unstable neural cloud. Poor Rosa.
グローザ落ち着け
私が指揮官を守らなかった。隊長、これは隊長のせいじゃ。違う。
Ah,
私のメンタルが赤い玉ねぎで動揺していなければ。いや、そもそも私に指揮官を守ることなんて。
I think Rosa might be upset. Oh, just a little bit. Look at my overprotective big sister. I should have known long ago I can't protect the commander at all. I'll only ever cause her trouble. I remember it all clearly now. I remember how I hurt those people. When I wanted the commander's warmth for myself, I stopped thinking and settled down by the commander's side, which has led to all this. The thought that she should have disappeared long ago reverberates through Groza's head.
違いますよ、グローザさん。
But even someone like me, uncontrollable, dangerous, and full of hidden dangers, with bloodstained hands, was always treated kindly by the commander.
指揮官に助けてもらったはずなのに。
Those gentle hands once lifted me up from the ruins.
グローザ、どうしてここに？少し味が変だけど、
Sniff, sniff.
まあ大丈夫。組対の検査はその気になったらまたやればいい。
You're just very lucky Groza is currently mostly an
料
unfunctional
理の味見は
Moko
私
should
に
be
言う
in
から。
a creator right now. She took my hand again and again until she has filled up my empty self with memories of her.
グローザ、相談したいことがあるんだけど、今エルモ号には3人しかいないけど、今後また人形を招き入れるかもしれない。その時はあなたに隊長になってほしい。また日の出が見たいの？
Aw, what a nice little recap.
一緒に見ましょう。
Look at all this bonding.
グローザ、あなたが望むなら真実を見つけ出そう。
指揮官がいなかったら私は
The street begins to spin. In contrast to the sheer fullness of the memories of the past 10 years in the depths of her neural cloud, the street before her appears completely empty. She stumbles a few steps further. No matter how she tries to steady herself, the feeling of disorientation in her neural cloud keeps dragging her down. There are many times when she wanted to leave in fear of hurting the commander the same way she hurt others. But now that the commander is missing, Groza feels the sky crashing down on her. Just as she's about to crumple to the ground, a pair of hands reach out to steady her by her left shoulder.
グローザ、ショックなのはわかるが、今は撤退だ。
Ulrid's voice is trembling slightly too. Not far away, the sound of vehicles is approaching. Clearly more enemies are on their way.
お姉様、指揮官は見つかりませんでした。どうしよう。もしこの
Well,
まま
nobody's good, right?
義でもないこと言わないで。
グローザ、スオミ、キャロリック、指揮官は必ず見つけ出す。だが今はその時ではない。自分たちの身を守らねば指揮官を探すこともできない。
はい、お
I
姉
hope we
様。
can contact them soon. There's no need for more. There's no time for more hesitation or explanations. The sounds of enemy footsteps and bullets being chambered happen in quick succession.
キャロリック、グローザを守ってくれ。
隊長、私に捕まってて。
There's nothing more important than getting everyone back safely, at least for now.
全員、撤退準備を。
Let's go! Okay. Bonk. It started off so nicely. A nice little shopping spree, music party, dancing, and all this. Well, on the bright side, at least Mailing's safe. It's a good thing Mailing did not go to the party with us.
逃げられる。
At least I'm assuming Mailing's safe. Hopefully her side's fine. If not, no, not the Mailing. Okay, turn 2. More enemies. Gonna bonk them and then good. Go get him.
玉磨かざれば器をなさず。
戦うことが私の使命。
これで
Very
終わり
nice.
戦場は片付いた。皆の者
Yay.
よくやったな。
Confirm. So I can read the next thingy. I like the descriptions. Underground titration. Within the vessels of the city's lifebloods, drops of irrational reagents are subtly shifting the course of the entire reaction. Okay. Whatever that means.
と
sewer. Great.
下水道だったんですか。
Smell.
はは、心配するな。君の思っているほど悪い場所ではない。
You're just gonna be
モコ
Numemon.
シュのインフラは少し特殊だから、ここでしか作業
Her
で
work
き
can
な
only
いん
take
だ。
place here. Great. Feeling's mind returns to what Dr. White said to the commander yesterday. Mokoshi's sun only reaches its surface, but its roots deep into the earth still need light to grow, even if that light is borrowed.
なるほど。
Her mind then moves on to how the commander behaved on the day, and her mood takes a bit of a dip.
昨日のことで落ち込んでいるのかね。
I'm sorry, Mei-ling.
昨日からずっと上の空だったよ。
Commander, be a bit
そう
dense.
いうわけじゃ。ただ、あんなことを言われたら。
No, you're super important, Mei-ling. You're the one running the whole Elmo.
君はそう思っているのだな。引き止めて欲しかったのか、それとも指揮官に全部決めて欲しかったのかね。
Dr. White, please explain that I care about Mei-ling. What exactly was she hoping for? She lowers her head to contemplate the question, and she also slows her pace subconsciously.
わかりません。
Rather than not knowing, it's more that she doesn't want to contemplate it. After living together with the commander all these years, she understands that the commander is someone that would only ever grow more distant.
着いたよ。
Mei-ling is taken aback by the sights before her. Amidst an underground labyrinth made up of colossal cement pipes, putrid wastewater sputters from the shattered alloy tubes. Above it all sits a completely isolated conveyor system, intact and functioning despite its visible age.
これは地下の輸送路だ。線路には
Okay, good. No wastewater, please. Gross. Nasty.
水没しても汚染される心配はない。だが防護服はちゃんと着ないとな。
はい。
Mei-ling steps into the elevator after ensuring that she's properly protected.
こんなものを下水道に立てるなんて。
The elevator ascends approximately 10 minutes, and it arrives at an inoperable centrifuge with machine remnants jammed between its blades.
できないとでも。
Why not? Dr. White passes a wrench to Mei-ling. She taps at the centrifuge's base and tries to lift open a cover.
複雑じゃありませんか。まるで巨人の血管みたいになっちゃって。
面白い例えだね。しかし見ての通り、この血管も今や錆びている。それが今のモコシュだ。
どうしてこ
Falling
んな
behind the
作
time?
りにしたのですか。
わからないのかね。普通下水道というのは雨水や汚水を
The stewards here are
公共用水
especially
域に排
important
出するための
and
施設だ。
impressive.
モコシュの下水道は少し特別でね。それはこの町の成り立ちにも関わってくる。
Yep, they're all connected, apparently. Like that
下水道と
factory.
つながっている施設の数々を。
はい。昔のダムを隔離壁代わりにして放射線汚染を。つまりこの下水道はもともとはダムの一部だったのですね。そしてそれらを拡張してできた地下都市が。
Arteries.
その通り。だから放射線除去装置もここにある。換気や電力供給システムの一部もだ。
そうでしたか。そんなに大事な場所なのに、どうして上層階のように整備されてないんですか。
Because George has priorities for other
そ
stuff.
もそも上層階ですらあまり整備されているとは言えないのに、この町ってもしかしてまだ建設途中なんじゃ。
なら君から見てこの町を設計したのは一体どんな人だ
Was
と
it a
思う？
person? Mei-ling takes another look at the complex machinery still functioning in the sewer, raising her head with confusion.
ちゃんと設計してあるはずなのに、なぜか完成に至っていない。変な人ですかね。
言い方は人それぞれだが、おおむねそれで間違いない。私から見た彼は 優秀なエンジニアだ。
Dr. White seems to really like that person.
そして情熱にあふれた理想主義者でもある。
知り合いなんですか？
そんなところだ。短い間
Ooh,
だったが
student.
私のもとで学問を収めていたこともあった。しかしその後すぐ彼はモコシュに来た。せっかちなやつでね。何かを学んだらすぐ応用したがる。彼がいなければ
I respect
モ
his
コシュへ
dedication.
の支援も実現しなかっただろう。
その人ってまさかジョージさん。
Dr. White only shakes his head with a smile, giving no direct answer. Oh gosh, if George was a student.
ジョージがいなかったらきっと彼が
Or never
今の
mind.
ジョージの椅子に座って
Not
いるはず
George.
だ。
そんなにすごい人だったんですか？
Mealing suddenly thinks to herself that if the talks between George and the commander don't go smoothly, then perhaps this engineer who designed a sewer system like this complex would be a way forward. You're still alive?
しかし彼はもうモコシの管理に関わっていなくてね。彼の作ったものもこうして
That doesn't sound very good.
そうだ。こんな
Hello,
俺
hello.
が後始末をしに来るぐらい
I'm just glad that Corporasan is
老
currently
い
just
ぼれだなんて
permanent.
まだまだお若いですよ。
よく言う。
でもそんなすごい方なら今頃
My
何
goal
をし
for
てい
this
るん
week
で
is
す
to
か？
finish Dawnforger
これ
Part
が終わ
1.
ったら後で会いに行くつもりだよ。一緒に来
And
ない
then
か
next
い？
week, Part 2 for sure.
いいんですか？
ああ、早く会いたければ今はちゃんと手を動かせ。
ふふん、舐めてもらっちゃ困りますよ。もうすぐ終わります。
Mealing pulls out a clump of fiber stuck in the fan blades, and Dr. White immediately plugs a chip into the control panel.
警報？何を入れた
Hello, hello.
ちょっとした手土産だよ。さて、ここからは少し面倒
Dr. White's trolling. I like this.
私戦闘とかは
But Mealing, please stay safe.
心配するな。全部壊れかけのロボットだ。簡単に対処できる。
Dr. White, don't you dare put my Mealing in harm's way.
そこから行けば追いつかれることはない。
結局逃げるんですか？いい年して元気なものですね。
さっきまだまだ若いと言っていなかったか
He's young enough. Also, third, did you give Mealing her reward yet? Her bottles of wine? And if not, ooh. After this, Mealing deserves a nice drink. Ta-da! Boy Machine is gonna always be so satisfying. Nice. Okay. Resonance protocol, different frequencies all harmonized at this moment, creating a resonance that brings down the high tower. Boop.
やはりこの資料にある技術は
Young
少
George?
し時代遅れのようです。比較
Actually,
的
no,
廉
not
価
young
な
George.
同好
Young
管の
other
採
person,
用以
probably.
外特に収穫はありません。
Unless it
数
is.
年前の本からここまでのものを
Oh.
引き出せるなんて。
The actual student,
大
Vasily.
したものだ
Okay.
よ、バシル。
こんな本でもイエローエリアの集落からやっとの思いで集めてきたものです。解読と検証にも時間をかけました。しかし
The face of the young man named Vasily immediately lights up with hope, and the melancholy from a moment ago is nowhere to be seen.
私はあなたに出会えました。あなたから学んだものを本にしてイエローエリアのみんなに残します。
Oh, he sounds so nice.
といずれ役に立つはずです。
ずっとここに残ってくれないのかい？
はい。残りたい
I'm
のは
too used to
山々
life here.
ですが
Gotta leave.
いろんなことを勉強できますし、食べ物も美味しいです。
Wait, what are these foods?
できれば
I want the noodles and the spicy whatever it
本当は
is.
ずっとここにいたいです。
第8
I'm hungry.
ま
I
だ
want
席
dinner.
が残っている。あと3、4年経験を積めば、
I still haven't decided what I'm
連
gonna
続の
eat.
許可も下りるだろう。
If I can't
お気遣い感謝し
decide
ます。
soon enough, I guess I'm gonna just have, I don't know, a protein bar.
私はモコシュに帰らなければなりませ
No
ん。
protein bar is too
結
sticky.
局帰るのだね。
I still eat them
あの
nonetheless.
時、モコシュは一度
Like,
壊滅しか
for
けま
lunch
した。
today, I'm gonna have a protein bar and a
エリ
protein
ットの
shake.
せいで。
The light leaves Vasily's eyes again as he thinks back to his escape. If Vasily escaped Makosh, the place was nothing short of a hell on earth. No, perhaps being born and growing up in the Yellow Zone places you in hell already.
ずっと自分は逃げてきたのではないかと思っていました。
Burdened with barren soil and an inhospitable environment, those living here have to fend off the Elid menace while still suffering from collapsed radiation exposure. However, the value of human resilience and unity shines through in these circumstances. Small settlements eventually form in the Yellow Zones, offering assistance and a unified front against the Elids. Most of the time, Elids move by their lonesome. But what if they began to move in groups as well?
2年前、池袋の群れが私の集落、
Ah,
モコシュを襲いました。たくさんの仲間たちが命を失いました。
we'll rip to the settlement.
しかも、それは終わりではありませんでした。エリットが集落の中で伝染し始めて、私は家族や友人たちを助けることができなかったんです。
What could bring more despair than being made to watch powerlessly as darkness descends?
ただ一つだけ幸運なことがあるとすれば、私が感染しなかったことぐらいです。私の友人は、このまま滅ぶのを待つぐらいなら、誰かが外へ助けを求めに行った方がいいと言い出しました。その時、
That's a good friend.
私の家族や集落のみんなは、自分たちの体をパラデウスや闇ブローカーに売ってまで、私のために物資と資金を集めました。彼らは自分たちの命を投げ打ったのです。そのおかげで私はここに来ることができました。
だから戻って助けると。
I respect that. Vasily's mouth twitches as he forces himself to smile bitterly.
助けるなんて私にはふさわしくありません。せいぜい借りを返すぐらいです。あの時私を助けてくれた人たちはき
Aww.
っともういないでしょう。だから本当はもう借りを返すことすらできないのです。だけど今でもモコシュで生きている人たちがいるのなら、私は彼らのことを守りたい。
I believe.
は
Dr. Waite sighs. He considers saying something, but in the end, he only pats Vasily's shoulder.
あ、あまり思い詰めるなよ。せめて
Vasily's a good boy.
君のやりたいことを教えてくれないかね。
私はモコシュに隔離壁を作りたい。放射線からみんなを守りたいんです。それから私はずっと自分で大型の機械を設計したかったのです。
Those are some goals,
エンジニ
alright?
アなら誰しも夢に見ることだよ。
それだけではありません。もし可能なら池袋から人を守ることができて、その上で複雑な地形での
Moving
救援
fortresses
作
are
業を
amazing.
行える移動要塞も設計したいです。私は多くの犠牲に助けられてきました。だから今度は私がみんなを守る番です。
支援は必要
There's
か
so
ね。
much hope for
支
Vasily.
援してくださるのですか？もしそれができるのなら今すぐ上司に手紙を出します。
少しは遠慮しろ、若造。
Ah, writing a letter to his friend
その
George.
ジョージってのは君の友人なのかね。
はい。一番の
Best
親友で
friend,
す。
huh?
外の
Wow, so
助けを
George is the one who
求めて
sent
く
him
れた
out.
私に
You know,
提案してくれたのも
Good
彼
job,
です。
George, in that case. Number 7. Durant's synchrony, solid alliances are often born behind bars. Helen, let me summon you.
コミュニティのみんなに連絡がつきました。
バチルダ、ロッタ、ドゥシェーブヌイはモコシュに向かい作戦に参加。リッタラとロザリンはコミュニティに残り、有事の際のバックアップをするように伝えてくれ。
わかりました。
キャロリック、メイリンへの連絡は？
まだよ。どこにいるのかもわからないし、通信もつながらない。それと指揮官も同じよ。
エルム号はどうなっている？
そっちの連絡はついたけど、もうこっちに向かっている小隊がいる。話が伝わるの
Oh,
が
they're on
早
their
すぎ
way.
るわ。
404とズッケロも。
ああ、
大丈夫。指揮官さえ見つければ
Very nice.
何をしたって。
Rose's suppressed voice comes through like a quivering force through clenched teeth. It sounds completely unlike anything conveniently or conventionally made by a vocalization module.
この後どうする？増援が到着次第、各エリアをしらみつぶしに指揮官を探す。今はもうそれしかないわ。
Clumsy, difficult methods? Her gaze isn't focused on Ulred or anyone else present. Instead, she seems to stare off into the distance, into nothing in particular.
直接ジョージに聞いてみるのはどうだ？
むしろそうするべきよ。どう考えてもあいつの仕業でしょうから。
それももちろんやるわ。この身に変えてでもあいつから情報を聞き出す。たとえこのモコシを潰すことになっても。
Her hand reaches towards her weapon almost instinctively. On another day, she would only be this on edge moments before launching an assault.
グローザさん、なんだかいつもと違う気がします。
いつもと違うの？
冷静なのに冷静じゃないというか。
She's very, very stressed. Intent on killing. The gentleness and fortitude from yesterday is nowhere to be seen, leaving behind only the eyes of the killer.
考えすぎよ。今は指揮官を探すことに集中して。ジョージもずっと姿を見せていない。何かしなければ、おそらくあいつを見つけることができない。あのホテルはジョージがいつも商談で使ってる場所だから、騒ぎが起きれば出てくるかもしれないわ。あまりいい例とは言えないな。でも戦う準備はできているでしょう。
The old sworn stand guard not far away. Behind them is a hotel where George held his ball.
まさかこっちから騒ぎを起こすことになるなんて。
郷に行っては郷に従えみたいな。
3時の方向に隙がある。全員突入準備。
Good luck? Actually, no, it's fine. We got this. Do the thing, team. Bonk. Very, very nice.
みんなのために。
Go get him. A bit more.
さっさと倒れて。
Ta-da! Thank you, Hukai. All done.
様、シーヤです。高度指揮官に関する問題で報告に参りました。はい、ジョージの暴走は私の失態です。ですが、あの指揮官も赤い玉ねぎを発見しました。
Being so cute.
分かっております。モコシが取るに足らないデザートであることは、ジョージと協力してうまく処理しておきます。
Her hand latches onto her accessory again. She pauses for around half a second. Then she begins to speak again with hesitation.
その姉のガイアは
Gaia? The call ends before she can finish. Her busy superior appears to have no time for questions. Her first attempt to add personal emotions into her work communications had failed. If she had any, that is. He remains emotionless as always. She only takes another look at the time.
分かっています。
No overtime.
私が行くまでに小隊2つを向かわせて足止めしなさい。ジョージさんの邪魔にならないように。
はい、
念のためにこちらの確認を。特殊任務小隊第2班です。任務の進捗に問題ありません。目標
70
高
minutes.
度指揮官を確保し、およそ70分後に地下監獄に到着す
What
る
a
予
long
定です。
journey.
はい、もちろん必ず。
戦場は片付い
Okay,
た。皆の者、よくやったな。
confirm. I'm sure I'll have enough time to do another one. I'm just curious how much I actually went through. Because so far so good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, surprisingly good. I'll do one more. Heck, maybe I'll even be able to start part 2 next time as well. Reunion Covenant. Rebuild each other with trust as a foundation. Sounds good. Trust, please.
はい、もちろん必ず。
The others in the vehicle seem to pick up something from the conversation, and they all turn towards their superior on the line. I sigh as their gazes as their gazes slide off me. Apart from me, there are countless other carefully packaged parcels taking up the space, preventing me from properly stretching my limbs.
シーヤさんから新しい指示ですか？まあ、ただの進捗確認だ。計画に変更はない。なんだ？何か問題でも？
予定通りなら70分で到着します。しかし前方に
Delayed by half an hour. Ooh, what a long journey.
30分ほど遅れる場合もあります。
I'm so spoiled by the journeys here taking so little. She begins to hum to herself, a little upon hearing the response. She might have noticed my tired gaze on her, because she throws me a beguiling look through her protective visor. I want to give her an affirmation for our future cooperation, but the bizarre circumstances force me to ignore this ludicrous act of hers. A call from Thea begins to ring on another squad member's terminal.
どういうことだ？
あら、シーヤさんも用心深いわね。
She cuts off the connection in a timely manner before the call goes through. Everyone present catches on to the abnormality and trains their weapons at her.
何者だ？班長ではないな。
侵入者を発見。
She's an imposter! She no longer needs to care about her gear with her identity now exposed. Lorelai, who clearly wasn't fond of her disguise anyway, swiftly discards it and reveals the dress underneath. The very same one that I saw at the banquet.
最後まで芝居するつもりだったのに。指揮官、手伝ってくれるわよね。
Will do, ma'am. I'm glad that I eventually summoned her. Worth.
指揮官、バレちゃったね。どうする？
What should we do? Try our best?
バレたのはあなただけよ。私はもともと捕まえられただけだから。
でも、どうせなら私に捕まえられた方がいいんじゃない？
Well, yeah, of course it's gonna be better to work together.
お姫様抱っこはどうだったかしら？
I loved it. Give me more uppies. I'll accept all the uppies.
それより、まずは戦いに集中しましょう。
それじゃ、その後の二人だけの世界を楽しみにして
Oh
いる
my,
わ。
our personal private time together. Wow. Ehehe. Sounds like a good time. A fantastic time, actually. For now, we escape. Ta-da! Almost done escaping.
みんなのために
Oh, we survived that. Oop. Oh, well, it's fine. Still gotta wait a turn anyways for the others to spawn. I can be patient. Be patient. Thea gets an odd feeling as the call is suddenly cut off. The sensation quickly fades as her call is immediately returned. Lorelei gathers all the enemy's communications terminals and calls back immediately.
任務に問題はありません。およそ
60
60
minutes.
分後、地下監獄に到着します。はい。位置情報は同期しました。さっきのことですか？
I'm used to one-way traveling being like 15 minutes.
生き袋が出現しました。
Anything longer than half an hour is
その
super
対処
long.
をしていました。すでに問題ありません。どうかご心配なく。
Which is pretty crazy in California since some of the areas took hours and hours to go through. Lorelei casually stows away the terminal on her person, even though there doesn't seem to be anywhere to put it.
ちゃんと偽装できてるじゃない。さっきのはわざと？
シーヤはやっとの思いで指揮官を捕まえたのだから、当然慎重にもなっているわ。なので、
Nothing wrong being careful.
私のことがバレるのも時間の問題。それだったらいっそ
Remind your body of me. Okay.
刺激的な時間を過ごした方がいいんじゃないかって。
She approaches me and leans down, presenting quite the inappropriate view in front of me. I finally know where she stowed away the terminal.
もしかして少し物足
Yes,
りなかったの？
please. So, when it comes to roleplay, right now, I'm married. I'm married to Oren. Oh
質問が
no.
あるわ。
あら、何でもどうぞ。
敵の通信機を使わないとシーヤと通信できないように
I guess no time for roleplay.
通信をジャックするといらない面倒事が起きるからね。
Does removing all these people not create problems? My thoughts almost run away, but I steer myself back onto the important questions at hand.
そうじゃなくて、あなたは最初誰と通信していた？
Ooh.
想定通りの勝利です。
I'm sorry, Mom. You have to ask my pretend sister for dating her.
敵に終わらせられたはずなんですけど。
That is a good start to the event. I like this. You know, I'm gonna accept that cliffhanger. I want dinner. I need food. Today, I ate... Let me think about it. What did I have today? I had a tiny bit of mochi crunch. I ate... Well, I drank a protein shake. Yum. I had a tiny bit of poke and poi. Only a tiny bit because I think the poi was kind of rotten. So I'm like, I'm not gonna eat the rest just in case. Tummy must stay strong. I haven't put on either of the current banners yet. I'm debating. Like, decisions. I want to meet them in the story first, if can. So there's some hope right now. At least I have Lorelei, ha. And there's a little bit of time left. Just a tiny bit amount of time. And then I'll decide to throw or who to throw at. And heck, if I lose a 50-50, it's fine, because at least I'm guaranteed for the next person I go for. Oh well. And you know, maybe if I'm super lucky, when I leave my room, there'll be food made. And if not, I gotta think about it. Do I want peanut butter and honey sandwich? Do I want rice with whatever's in the fridge? Do I want to be good and make instant noodles? Probably not for that one, but that's an option, of course. But yeah, hopefully there's something. And something that's like not potentially rotten like the poi that I had earlier today. And why I think it was rotten? Because it was kind of like carbonated in my mouth, the way it felt. I'm like, oh no, it's fermenting. But I was hungry, so I still nommed on it. The fish was good though. I'm pretty sure the fish was fresh enough. I trust the poke, but the poi, no. But oh well, dinner time. Need some fuel before Kamen Rider. I like the side of this event. More Lorelai, please. With that being said, thank you everyone for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of the day with gotcha luck. I'll see you guys later. I hunger. Bye bye. Food, please. Gosh darn it. I hope there's something. If not, yeah, I'll munch on something else. Something easy because I'm lazy. Also, I gotta look at Funhook. You know, maybe I'll set that up on my computer before I go. Okay. Exile event, go to platoon. Click on Funhook, at least start one battle. And then by the time I come back to my room with some snack, hopefully it'll be done.